Hello, everyone, and welcome to a nice sunny day here in Eastern Germany. We're here at ESN for the AWSCO Windows Cup Series, and they will be racing very shortly here at the Dekra Lausitz Ring as for the second leg of the second international tour here that the Cup Series is doing for the Dekra 400. We're here at the Euro Speedway Lausitz, one of the rare oval tracks in Europe with lots of open wheel racing history here. You will recall the many American open wheel races that were held here, and occasional European series that raced here. Of course, the European Stock Cars series ASCAR raced here quite a few times as well, alongside the oval at Rockingham, UK. I think I believe German F3 raced here on the oval layout as well. That's a neat fun fact. There was an oval race held with F3 Formula 3 cars about 20 years ago, and included some guy named Nico Hulkenberg. I don't know if that rings a bell to anyone. So lots of oval racing history, and the American stock cars, the North American stock cars tour, I guess, are taking their series here for the first time, as the AWSCO Cup Series takes on the 2.023 the just over 2 mile triangle shaped oval here at in Germany. I'm Russia, and I'm joined here in the studio for the pre-race show with Ellie, our regular co-host now. Well, here we are in leg 2 of our second international tour. We've already tackled the oval at Rio de Janeiro last week. We saw Lily Tolberson win that one. We're back at a irregularly shaped oval, I'd guess. Tolberson's already won at Pocono. She's won at Jacarepaguá. Two ovals that are decidedly not traditionally oval-shaped. We're here now at another non-traditional oval-shaped track. Do you think there might be a pattern to this right now with Tolberson's performances at these tracks?
These weirdly shaped ovals she does perform pretty decent at, and that win at Rio de Janeiro was pretty impressive with her. So I think maybe there is some kind of pattern. She just could be a weird oval merchant.
Not to mention these ovals are also fairly flat as well, which I think is another important point. Yeah. So maybe you might. So maybe the other way to put it might just be flat big ovals, which you would probably include Indianapolis with that as well. That's coming up later in the season. But she does have a knack for these. She does seem to have a knack for these racetracks. Definitely performed well to win at those two previous races that we already had. She is starting kind of mid-pack, but that shouldn't be a problem at a track like Lausitz Ring. Just there is, I'd say, a decent amount of overtaking opportunities at this track, and with how long the race is going to be, 400 miles, there's enough strategy, I think, to make it so that cars are going to be moving up and down the pack pretty easily, I think.
Yeah, just barely over a mile, and I think
2 miles.
Yeah, 2 miles. Ugh, whatever. I think they have a good setup on her car for these flat tracks, and I think that she always benefits from these flat tracks, and I think her starting more into the end of the middle of the pack won't really matter too much, given it's a little over 2 miles. I think she can claw her way through the midfield. I think she's going to be a contender pretty easily.
Yeah. This oval is very wide, but with the limited amount of banking that's kind of there, it does kind of race it's kind of like Pocono, but also not, in its own. It's also its own oval. It is definitely the way I put it is that it's very wide. Imagine the front stretch at Pocono, and that basically is the entire track. There's lots of room to move around, but there's not a lot of room to move around and be competitive, I think. So watch out for, turn 1 especially. There's a lot of space on the outside of turn 1 that you don't really want to be using. I think you're going to be, if you do find yourself on the outside there, You might wash up and hit the wall. That's something to look out for on the starts and restarts of this race. Especially, I think cars are going to be wary not to be pushed out of the way at turn 1, I think.
Yeah, I would not want to be pushed out of turn 1 and stuck in that kind of situation. But I think a lot of our drivers are going to be, I guess, alert enough for that kind of thing. I don't know if we'll see it too much. I think the big thing to look out for with this track is, I think it's going to be pit strategy, like the last race in the Continental Series we had, where pit strategy ended up being a decent bit of importance there, and it was pretty interesting to watch each cycle kind of whether it changed things or not. I think that's what we're going to have to look for with this track, whether pit strategy really matters or whether it doesn't matter here.
Yeah. Another piece of data that we've just been given is that Talberson also finished in the top 10 at Phoenix, which is another one of those flatter tracks. That is just over a mile. And that is another kind of flat track that rewards that kind of setup, I would think. So that's definitely something that Evans Ross Racing have been working very hard on. And speaking of ERR, that team has been on a real hot streak in these past few weeks. We've mentioned Arinia Tosama's insanity run over the last month basically here, and the string of wins that she went on. Up until the race in Brazil, of course. She didn't have the best of races there, but of course Lily Talberson seems to have picked up the slack and continued the win streak on Evans Ross Racing's behalf. And I think it's really showing I think ERR speed is really showing. I think all of their cars are going to have really been a threat to win, basic kind of week in and week out. You've seen the 39 and 93 win just, alone in this streak. We saw the 9 of Carly Byrne finish second behind the 93 at Daytona Road Course, and the 99 the 99 as well has been pretty quick alongside her teammates. So this team is really on a roll, I'd say.
Yeah, this team has been on fire lately. They've really locked in on strategy and everything lately. It seems like everybody's been performing well on the ERR team, and I think Arinia Tosama winning the pole, I think that's definitely something to look out for. I think she's going to be an obvious driver that is going to be competitive and probably in the top 5 the entire race unless something really crazy happens.
Yeah, looking at the grid, we see the 93 of Arinia Tosama starting on pole. That's not something we've seen from Tosama in this hot streak of hers, I don't think. She started up front most of the time, but I don't think she started on pole for any of these races. Alongside her, it's a bit of a surprise. The 15 of Fabrizio Toller in the Royal Racing Honda. That's a team that's way down in points. Hasn't had really much to speak of this season, really. Couple of top 10s, but couple of top 10s and then a top 5, but that's really about it. And it shows they're 39th in the points right now, so interesting to see that team up there. Ari Stoneman and Yanfi Yanaga are on row 2. That's 2 of our playoff contenders. Yanaga and Stoneman are 10 and Stoneman and Yanaga, I should say, are 10 and 5 points above the cut line respectively. Good starts for them. Mika Haurina, that's another one. That's another cutoff driver. 5 points below the cut line there. And then you have DeGabby Abriella on the outside of row 3. Valicia Vancy and Sylvia Rariston on row 4. And then Mika Gennaro and Mauricio Vebelst rounding out the top 5. Gennaro had a few engine problems in that fast end, but they seem to have fixed that up. And they seem to be ready to roll. And Mauricio Vebelst in the 99 was your winner at Las Vegas and the second ERR car in the top 10 here.
Yeah, this is a very ERR is dominating looking Fast 10 right now, and I think it's going to be interesting to watch. They certainly have
plenty of pace.
Yeah.
I mean, 3 other cars in the top 20, and the first one that isn't is in 21st. That's Carly Byrne in the 9. So this team definitely has this team has picked up the qualifying notes that whatever MBYW have, basically. And they seem to have the race pace to match. Unlike MBYW have had this season, I would say. Looking at the other two playoff contenders right now, the 72 and 27. I'm not seeing them right now. I see the 27. I see the 727. I see the 72. There they are. Parkings is starting on the inside of row 12. That'll be 23rd place. And Garnstone is the outside of row 14, which is 28th place. Both of them are starting pretty far back. And those two are tied right now. Whereas you have Harina and Vancy starting up front there as well. Which I think is going to have quite a few playoff implications. That might have some playoff implications right there.
Yeah, I think that would, honestly. That's a great start for both of these drivers that kind of need.
For the three of them, Stoneman, Yanaga, and Harina, they're all in a fast 10.
Yeah.
And Vancy actually, so that's four drivers who are in that kind of close up zone in the right around the cutoff line.
Yeah. They're
all in the fast 10, making the 27 and 72 kind of stake out, and they're the ones right on the line.
Yeah, and this is that competitiveness that I was I was talking about. I don't know how many races. It might have been a race in the Cup, maybe another race ago, where I think it's getting to the point where some of these drivers close on the playoff cut line or around the playoff cut line are going to start getting more competitive, given it's getting just closer and closer, and points are mattering a little less. I think a lot of these drivers in here aren't going to necessarily be too tame. I think they're going to really try and win here.
Yeah, that's something to look out for. That's definitely something to look out for. Of course, we can't go into this race without mentioning the two Uberman cars. That is the unofficial Team Germany of AWSCO, running Lori Schliesenbach and Paislin Yuria. Those two. Uberman has had good history racing as a driver here at this track. Won pretty well every time he's raced at this track. And his two cars right now are looking his two cars are starting kind of in the mid pack, but they've been really good in the last few weeks. Schliesenbach in the Aldi Mercedes. I think I have to mention which Aldi this is, because I think some people will get upset if I mention the incorrect Aldi. But that's one of the cars, I believe. I believe this one is this Aldi Sud. I think it's Aldi Sud. Yeah, Aldi Sud. That's the Schliechenbach machine. Whereas Paislin Yuria running the number 82. I think that's the Menards car. Yeah, that's the Menards car. Those two have been pretty quick. Those two have been pretty quick in recent weeks. Yuria has been kind of knocking off good results here and there. Mm-hmm. Both of them are sitting a little bit outside of that cutoff battle we're talking about, but they're only about 10 points behind Valicia Vancy. So those drivers have been pretty. Those two have been consistently decent this season, and given that Uberman the driver has always had a pretty significant performance bump when racing at home here, I do wonder if that Uberman team have been working extra hard to make sure these cars are dialed down for this race, trying to put on a real spirited performance for the team. How important would it be for the team to grab a win here?
Yeah, they've been pretty decent. I've always paid attention to Schliesenbach, especially Yuria as well. They're also not starting too bad. Schliesenbach more, she's in the top 20, and Yuria is 30? I think Schliesenbach is in a really good position here, and I think that we're in the German Democratic Republic. She has like a home advantage, you know?
I don't know about the German Democratic Republic. I feel like we may have transported a little bit too far off time there. But we are in the former GDR, and we are in a former coal mine in the former GDR. This is about as GDR coded of a location as we could possibly get, I think. But yeah, Schliesenbach has been pretty quick in recent weeks. Almost came close to a win at Sonoma, racing up against Tosuma, but Tosuma was just pretty much untouchable that day. Finished top 15 on a bit of an alternate strategy at the Daytona road course, and I think may have gotten up in a few had some mechanical problems at Chikara Pagua. So, but regardless, still a pretty decent finish given how many cars were taken out in that race. But yeah, Schliesenbach starting on the outside of row 10 in 20th place, Yuria in 30th place outside of row 15. Those are definitely two cars we're gonna have to look out for as home favorites. Buck, of course. This is being home race for her and the team, so definitely extra motivation to do well here. All right, with that, I think it's a good time to wrap up our pre-race show here. We'll be moving over to the booth now. Echo and Liam will be delivering the commentary for you. Delivering the commentary for you in this race. It'll be a real barn burner, I think, here from the Speedway Lausitz. So enjoy the show and enjoy the show, and we'll be back for the mid-race report. Back here in the studio with everyone.
And welcome to Eastern Germany, here in the state of Brandenburg, the very southern tip of Brandenburg. We're here for the Dekra 400 at the Dekra Lausitz Ring. I'm joined by Liam in the booth. Yeah, Liam, how is it going? How you enjoying Germany?
It's good. Yeah, I mean, this is a great track, great atmosphere. You know, European crowds are always great. And this Euro Speedway Lausitz Ring crowd is no different. Big track, triangle shaped. You know, not in the same way that we've seen with Pocono and Nazareth. It's another unique triangle shaped track. Very wide straightaways and corners, especially turn 1 is extremely wide, so a lot of room for the cars to move around there. It's going to be a pretty flat track as well, so it's a real driver's track in terms of handling. Not a lot of banking to rely on when it comes to the cornering there, but it should be a really good race. We're going to see cars probably 3-4 wide throughout the field, and yeah, I'm excited.
Now, this is going to be a real fun race. This track shaped pretty similarly to Pocono, but it's a little bit shorter. It's only 2 miles, and this track is also, the corners have equal banking. They all have about 6 degrees of banking in them. All right, let's go through your starting grid here real quickly for the race here at the Lausitz Ring. Row 1, it's the 93 of Irina Tosima, winner of 2 of the last 3 races, alongside the 15 of Tabrizia Tolaron. Row 2, it's the 10 of Adi Stoneman and the 46 of Yenfi Yanaga. 2 drivers in that playoff conversation right now. Stoneman just pushed herself ahead of the cut line in the last race. Row 3 is the 34 Mika Harina, just outside the cut line, alongside the 20 of DeGabi Gabriella, who's very much in that needing to win territory. Row 4, the 1 of Alicia Vancy in that same boat, pretty close to the cut line. Alongside the 32 of Sinley Rariston. Row 5, the 42, Mika Gennaro, who's had engine problems in multiple of the last few races, alongside the 99 of Marisha Velbost. Row 6 is the 6 of Xiaomi McJasmina and the 16 of Skyan Jetta, who came pretty close to winning at Rio last week before getting involved in an incident with Perry Alicantes. Row 7, the 55 of Brita Lott and the 21 of Amani Wandayo. Row 8 is the 62 of Halis Jukovic and the 13 of Yonia Waterton. Row 9 is the 22 Andrea Davison and the 92 of Michele Yatica. Row 10, the 39 Lily Toberson and the 8 of Lori Schliesenbach. Row 11 is the 9 of Carly Byrne and the 3 of Mimi Barino. Row 12 is the 72 of Janet Parkings and the 98 of Ava Ajarsaraj. Row 13 is the 2 of Isa Ijavida and the 71 of Abby Little. Row 14, the 60 of AWSCO and the 27 of Nietzsche Garnston. Row 15, the 91 of Alicia Byrne and the 82 of Pace Laniria. Row 16 is the 96 of Angeli Rugatino and the 18 of Perry Alicantes. Row 17, the 38 Young Wei Ku and the 52 Rachel Cole. Row 18, 31 of Taylor Happerman and the 17 of Dara Reister. Row 19 is the 64, second in points Jocelyn Unihill, alongside the 19, third in points Arlen Handstrom. And row 20, runner-up last week at Rio, Sophie Chantasse, alongside the 23 of Yappy Malikson, who comes in as the points leader. All right, Liam, if you're one of those drivers at the back, who's starting at the back, up front in the points, what is your strategy going to be here at the start of this race? It's a long race, but what do you think you're going to try to pull here if you're one of those drivers towards the back here?
With how wide this track is, with how much room these cars are going to have to move around at the start of this race, my advice is to hang back on the first, initial start of the race, because there's a high chance that we have an accident early, and you don't want to be in the middle of it when it breaks out. So if you can be at the back, sort of back off and wait for everything to sort of cycle its way through. As soon as you've got a clear shot to the front, then you can start getting aggressive, but you don't want to get aggressive when you're 3-4 wide with other cars around you, because that's a great way to end up in the garage at the end of the race.
And Irina Tosima is up here as well. She's had that hot streak. She didn't win last week, but her teammate won last week, and Tosima starting on the pole for this race. That's going to be something that she's really going to show. Do you think she wants to get another win and take that wins lead this year, or you think she might hang back a little bit?
I mean, for Irina Tosima, I think winning as many races as possible is the goal now. She's been at the past month and a bit as the cars get ready to roll off here. She's been fast week in, week out. It was a slightly bit of an off week at Rio, but still managed to scoop, I think, a top 15. And yeah, we're at a point where I think that 93 team is just going to look and staying up front, winning as many races as possible, and starting to maybe try and run away with the points lead.
All right, pace cars pulled off. We are green flag racing. We're going from the Lausitz ring.
You're going to watch the fan out into turn 1 again, more wide as we come off the corner.
Oh, we got a car around at Gennaro.
Gennaro around and into the pack. We got multiple cars sliding down into the infield. More contact being made.
Carly Byrne was in it. Chantasse.
Theoria Reister.
Reister.
And they're 3 wide for the lead, racing back to the line. Wow. What'd I say about those early accidents, Eka?
Well, that was something that, can't say I didn't expect, but wow. Right off turn 1 on the first lap here. That's, that's a bit crazy. Audie Stoneman. Oh, they're stacking up back here.
We definitely had some cars get away with minimal damage there, but that's going to take out a lot of contenders early in this race.
Yeah, there was a lot of cars up back there that probably could have made up some decent ground.
Seen some split strategies already.
Yeah, some cars coming down pit road already. So we'll take a look as to what happened when we get our replay here in a second here. But a few cars coming down pit road. Gennaro's back out on track. Well, let's see what happens. Jasmine and Gennaro. Oh, Ariella gets pushed into the 42 there. 32 gets into the 20.
It was at the front bumper of Rairston, and then everyone's so close together, there's not really anywhere the drivers can go.
I don't know what's going on with the spectator cam, but... Well, big crash to start this race. Riodolot is out of the race. So it was Little, Barino, Byrne, Guandayo, Alicante, Chantasse, and Dira Reister. So 8 cars are out of the race already here early on.
Look, the good thing about that wreck is with this track, there's so much room on the inside. One of the cars I saw getting spun around was 21. Um,
One Dio.
21 of Amani Wandayo. She got spun down into the infield, way down into the grass, and because of that, managed to avoid hitting a lot of things. And I
Yeah.
believe she's still in this race.
She's not in the race. She's out of the race.
Oh, she's
retired.
out?
Yeah, she's
Okay,
retired.
she did hit some. But there is room to get out of the way in these accidents.
I want to see what happened to the 21. Because I know you mentioned the 21 being involved. Oh, you're right. She didn't hit anything. Oh, that's what she did. Merged back up on track. Right there. Yeah, that would in fact do it. 23 running without a hood. Well, we'll have a single file restart here. Nobody's a lap down. We got 32 cars left, but lights are out on the pace car. Audie Stoneman is the leader. She will lead them around to the next green flag that we see. You'll notice that this track has a little bit different paint job than we've seen in years past. Not only on the walls, but also on the track as well. And that's because since the last time that there's been a major race here on the oval, the track was actually purchased by an automobile testing company called Dekra, and they let people rent out the track for races. And AWSCO is one of those organizations that took up the offer to rent this track out, rent the oval out for a race on it. And the walls are all repainted. They also decided to repaint the curbs as well in the colors of the German flag, since this is a race in Germany.
Another important installment, those safer barriers in the corner.
Yeah. AWSCO requested that they implement safer barriers in the corners of the track, and Dekra obliged. And they painted those safer barriers white and green to represent the company Dekra. That's their color scheme. Green flag. Speaking of green, we're back to green here from the Lausitz Ring. And already they're fanning out.
Going to make it through turn 1 clean this time.
Yeah. Stoneman holds the lead for now. Audie Stoneman holding on to the lead here. I know you remember, Liam, this is the second time you've commentated a race at a big triangle, actually. Because you were here for Pocono as well. I only just now realized that. There's outside pole sitter Tabrizi Tolerone. battling here with Vebelst in her, who's driving the car that she used to drive. There's Lily Talberson, winner back last week at Rio. Couple cars in the wall.
Track.
Whoa, Vebelst is getting aggressive with Janet Parkings.
Oh, look out, everybody.
Oh, Parkings is up and into the wall hard.
Car's hitting the pit lane. Somehow nobody hits Parkings as she slides down the racetrack. Oh, never mind. And that'll be another caution.
That'll be another yellow. And in a week where we've already had some drivers receive major penalties, Marisha Vebel's not making her case look any better.
Well, that was an interesting one. It's something that the AWSCO officials are definitely going to want to take a look at.
Yeah, that's something that there's not going to be a lot of particularly happy people about that.
We had cars washing up. It was in turn 2. We saw a bunch of cars washing up into the wall further back, and then not sure what happened with Parkings and Bevels to where they were just door to door through the entire straightaway and into turn 3.
I think technically Vebelst is still on the lead lap, so I believe that that she's going to actually cycle up to 4th place here. Stoneman wins the race out. Most of these cars looks like they took either 4 tires or 2 or right side tires. The 6th car of McJasmina chose to stay out, along with Happeman and AWSCO. So those 3, these 4 cars here, are actually going to cycle to the lead. Oh no, these 3 are going to come in now. Well, let's see what all that was about. Parkings and Vebelst, they're side by side. Oh, I think Vebelst tries to pit, and then Parkings gets underneath. Parkings doesn't let up. Vebelst doesn't let up either. And then Parkings merges like that and gets into the wall very, very hard. And Waterton and Javida, nothing those two could have done there. But Vebelst, ironically, is going to cycle to the lead out of that.
Funnily enough, she does end up cycling to the lead.
I just said that.
Yeah, I know you said that. I was just exacerbating the point.
Fair.
Yeah, a weird situation all around.
Yeah, that was a bit odd.
It's a green car leading
At the
Laos,
green
that's very-
track, yeah.
Yeah.
Very interesting start to this race so far here.
Hopefully we can get some racing in, because this track does produce really great action when, we actually get it.
Yeah, oh yeah. So Vebels is the leader. Audi Stoneman technically never gave up the lead, but Stoneman is behind the 99 right now because the 10 car pitted, and the 99 actually stayed out because the 99 pitted right there. I think the 99 may have received a penalty and just chose to cycle and just chose not to make another run through pit lane. Lights are out on the pace car, so we're about to go back to green flag racing. Hamstrom's also retired, so is Alicia Byrne.
Oh, the ERR cards showing there yet again.
Yeah. Well, and Tosin was up here too.
Tosim up front. Vettel's more up front on the way that the pitting went, where she was in the pits when the yellow came out, but still up front.
All right, well, the pace car is pulling off here. Hopefully nobody does something as absurd as that on this next run through.
Yeah. See if we can get a lap in, or two.
Yeah, we got one lap in on that last run. Well, we want to get two. Or probably more, honestly. Green flag. And the 10 car already diving to the inside on Vebelst.
If Tosim will go, she goes to the inside as well, and Vettel's just going to be hung out to dry on the outside.
Vebelst is hung out to dry up on the outside line here. Remember Rio last week where you had a couple cars, at Rio last week there were 12 caution flags in that race, but it was not it wasn't a bad race by any means.
See if we
They were
can get
going
the excitement early and then some actual racing in, because it should be a good race. And yeah, like you said, at Rio we had a lot of cautions, but the our cars both fall off on the outside here.
Yanniga up to second. She got by both the 93 and the 99. Stoneman still leads.
A lot of room on the outside of this racetrack, but it's not the fastest way to go around.
Well, that's the thing, is that there's room. There's room. You can make it stick up there. I mean, it's not fast, but there's room. As they are going almost 5 wide off turn number 3.
Someone got a piece of the wall coming off the turn 3.
Yeah, the 93 got forced way out of line. Tolero now gets pushed to the high side. It's getting really dicey back there, but Yanniga's up here just trailing the 10 of Stoneman. And these two drivers, both two drivers that are in an interesting spot in terms of the cut line. Because both of these drivers, Stoneman came in I have the stats somewhere. Stoneman's plus 10, Yanniga came in plus 5. And remember, there were a couple drivers that came in tied. The 72 actually came in tied on the cut line. Caution is back out once again.
Bloody yellow.
And I'm not sure why the yellow's out this time.
Looks like everyone's still running clean.
don't see anybody on pit road. Maybe something happened at the back? Oh no, something did happen up here. Who is that? That's the 38 of Youngwei Ku. Battling with the 27 Anichi Garnston. She just gets spun around.
Slides, and
hung on to
carries
it.
on.
Hung on to it. Okay, well, fairly interesting.
Your third caution of the day, but we didn't lose anybody this time.
Well, here comes everybody down pit road. Nobody retired from that, which is a good thing. I don't think there was anybody that would have really retired for that.
No, that was a great job by Youngwei to keep that car straight, keep it away from the other cars on the track.
I heard some cars making contact on pit road. This is a pretty narrow pit road. This is a pretty narrow pit road, so.
Yeah, I mean, for all the talk I was given about the width of the track, the pit road does not have that same luxury. Gotta be really careful exiting your pit box here.
Oh, the 10 is blowing up from the lead.
Oh, wow. She missed pit road too, so she's gonna have to carry that around the track.
I think it blew up after the entry to pit road. Well, Stoneman's race ends right there. She led pretty much every lap up until this point, and this car is not gonna lead anymore. Horrible luck for Stoneman. Have you heard very much, Ellie?
Not other than the damage seems to be very clearly fatal to the engine. I don't think she's going to be back on track at all.
Well, absolutely horrendous. Horrendous situation for Stoneman.
Or she could get a chance to defend her lead. The race goes up in smoke. I mean, that'll happen to you, but it sucks. We're in a situation where you've had three or four straight cautions. She hasn't really had a chance to race that car, and now she won't. Posting around the racetrack right now. Hopefully not leaking oil all over the place.
Well, that passes the lead to Yanniga in the 46 car. And Stoneman now coming down pit road. Again, just remember that right there, you can't enter pit lane from there. You have to enter from the access road before turn 3. So that's why the 10 made another lap around.
Lights are out on the pace car, so they're not Doesn't look like there's any fluids left by that 10 car, which is good news.
So that top 10, Yanaga, Ajarsaraj, Garnston, Tolerone, Vancy, Harina, Cole, Vebelst, Davison, and Jukovic.
Still about 180 laps left in this race, so plenty of time for a lot of things to change around.
Yeah. Still a lot of things that can happen. Pace car about to pull off here, and we're going back green here from the Lausitz ring. Leg number 2 of our World Tour. Green flag, here we go. And already a move looking, here comes the 98 looking to the inside on the 46. Ajarsaraj takes that spot. You got the two Royal Racing teammates right here in 3rd and 4th. Right behind the 46 now. Here comes Vancy in the 1 car. Looking to the inside into turn 2.
Pretty wide. Split up a bit. Where's 27 now? Way wide.
Oh, the 1 gets into the 15 just a little bit there.
Track this big, and we're seeing a little bit of bump and run action. Never know what you're going to get with AWSCO racing. Great racing action when we're actually green.
This is a pretty rare sight. It's seeing both the 15 and the 27 up towards the front. Usually you're only seeing the 27. The 15 just has not been one of those cars that's been consistently front running all year. She did start pretty well in this one. Started on the outside of the front row. Here comes Vancy looking to the inside on Tolerone. These two drivers.
Door contact in turn 3.
Both of these drivers, Vancy from Italy and Tolerone from the Netherlands. Those are a couple places somewhat close to Germany. Although not really close to this part of Germany.
I mean, if we're comparing things by the sheer vastness of the United States, everything's close to Germany when you're in
Well,
Europe.
yes, but, you know,
Yeah.
Europe is about the size of the United States, so... It's basically like comparing Kansas to Missouri. Oh, the 6 and the 60 made contact at the back of the field.
All the way down to the apron.
I think the 6 car got almost into the inside wall. She managed to hold on to the car. Yanaga's all over Ajarsaraj right here.
Just waiting for the right moment to make that pass. She's going to maybe look to the inside on the exit of this corner and dive into turn 3.
Yeah, there she goes. To the inside looks Yanaga.
By side down the front straightaway.
Side by side down the front straightaway, the 46 sticking just close enough to maybe make a move into turn 1. Not quite able to get the momentum off. 2 and 3 wide over here. Nancy had to check up to not run into the 15. Here comes the 52 of Rachel Cole over here. Now trying to see if she can make up some ground. Yanaga's still looking on Ajar Siraj. If Yanaga does anything, you're going to have to make that dive bomb move into turn 1.
He's been blocking really well so far.
There's Cole. How about Lily Talberson? Already moved up to 8th spot, battling Davison for 7th. Look at what's going on back here. We got 4 wide back here.
4 wide. Through turn 2.
There's still 4 wide with a different car on the bottom. They sort of back out to 3.
Clean. Maybe Yanaga can try it into turn 1 this time.
Yanaga wants it again down to the inside. She got a decent run off turn 1 there.
Shot into turn 2. Keep an eye on that 15 car.
Yeah, here comes Tolaron. Oh, the 46 slides up, makes a little contact with the Ajar Siraj. Gets her out of shape a little bit. How about Tolaron pushing herself into this mix in the 15? Look at the 15 car. She's making the dive bomb move down there. But Yanaga will get clear of the 98. But the 98 fights right back.
Really good run off of turn 3. She's going to try the inside into turn 1.
And the lead changed hands twice. Back to the 98. And here comes the 15 trying to take second. The outside has held up a lot stronger than I think a lot of us expected it to.
It definitely has, and I wonder if that tire wear maybe has something to do with it, where once those tires wear out, the outside becomes a little bit stronger than the inside. But this is really the longest run. This is the longest run we've seen all day, so we're in unfamiliar territory in terms of how these cars are running.
Yeah, that's true. Kind of single filed out. Slide back here. There's where the 8 of Schliesenbach is. Meanwhile, the 46 trying to hold off the 15 for second. And she's still doing so.
Dancy trying to get a run off the outside here in turn 3. That outside lane really works like a slingshot, especially out of that third corner.
Yeah. And Harina's looking underneath Rachel Cole here.
Inside seems to be stronger in 1 and 2, but you can get a run at the outside in turn 3. It's set up really well in turn 1.
Yeah, you gotta stay side. If you can stay side by side, and if you can be side by side in any of these corners, you know, but especially turn 1, if you can be side by side through turn 1, that's where you will get a good boost. As long as you can stay side by side on corner exit.
Hold on, tries for second.
She's gonna get it.
She's clear. Look at Nancy. Look for third.
Oh, I don't know if she's just barely clear, but Yanaga fights back to the inside.
Back. 6 now to the inside. Coloring washes up the track.
And she didn't wash up that much. She held her groove enough.
Go side by side. Gonna cut low in turn 3 to block the 46.
15
trying
clear.
to generate around on the outside again.
You know, now that we're in the groove of green flag racing, this track has become quite fun to watch. 82 and the 8 car are both off the pace, so Unfortunately for those home German fans, they're probably not going to see a Ubermann Enterprise car to victory lane today.
Single file for the front 5 or 6. But then after that, we've got them double filed. We've seen glimpses of 3 wide in the back as
The
well.
front 6 or 7 car is single file.
3, and there it is, 3 wide into turn 1. Back off. Bringing Tosima trying to get back up to the front of this field.
Yeah, Tosima's still yet to lead a lap in this one.
She hit the wall coming off of turn 3 earlier. You gotta wonder if maybe that offset the balance in the car and it's just not running the same as it was in qualifying.
Well, to be fair, she also got dive bombed on the first corner of the race.
Look further back, it's 3 wide right at the tail end of this one. It's almost 4 for a second. That 34's been stuck on the outside. She's dropped like a lot.
Yeah, the runs back here have been quite crazy. Yanniga's trying to look underneath Toblerone here.
Try it into turn 3.
She goes for the dive bomb in turn 3, but it's not going to work, and that may actually cost Yanniga some more spots. Here comes the 1 and the 52.
Might split her into turn 1 here.
It's going to benefit the
advances
52.
By
Cole is at least going to get the spot. Cole's going to get a spot from that. So the 52, Rachel Cole up to 4th. Eva Jarsaraj, who's got 2 wins this year on road courses, sits in the lead, but here comes Toblerone looking to the inside on the 98.
got a decent run off the corner. She's going to try the inside in turn 3 here.
Dives to the inside. But Jarsaraj is going to get a big run on exit.
Really big run on exit. It's now 2 by 2 at the front of this field. Well, it looked like it, but Zarsaraj's got a really good lead off of turn 3.
Here comes Cole. Look at the 52 car. She is making moves. Cole's just went by both of them. Both the 15 and the 46 there.
Richard Cole, a name I haven't really said much in reference to the front of this field when I've been in the booth this season, so a fresh face, at least on my end. It's always good to see.
Cole's been pretty solid at the road courses all season. Finished 3rd at Sonoma a couple weeks ago. She had a podium finish at Sonoma, and she had a podium finish, I remember, as well at I believe at Road America as well. 11th last week in Rio, Cole was. Sits 26th in the points at the moment.
Sixth in points, a win would be huge for that 52 team.
Yeah, it would get her into the playoffs. Meanwhile, here comes Rariston in the 32 car, trying to make up ground. She just gave the 15 a little tap in the corner there, and I think that slowed the 15 down enough to where the 15's not going to be able to fight back for that spot.
The low banking and the sharpness of that 3rd turn makes it essentially like a short track. We've seen bump and runs all day long in that corner.
Meanwhile, Irina Tosima's made up some decent ground. She's looking for 5th. She's up to 6th now, and the 15 has really slipped back. Toblerone not able to hang on to that ground.
You gotta wonder when do the tires start falling off and that inside is no longer a viable option to make a pass.
Well, they've already fallen off a little bit. Because look at the lap times they're running now compared to their best laps.
At least half a second off of their best laps now. On these
Cole
tires.
is all over the 98 here. Meanwhile, they're two wide over here. That's Rariston trying to take third away from Yanaga. Now Rariston's got 2 wins this year as well, but they've come both on short tracks at Bristol and South Boston. Vancy goes high. She's going to lose a little bit of ground. Rariston's going to try to get the run off on Yanaga.
Those early incidents did anything. It really upped the variety of drivers at the front of this field. We've got 2 skilled road course drivers leading this race. We got some short track aces over here. It's a lot of drivers out of their element.
And how about the 38 here, Youngwei Koo? Remember she spun not that long ago?
She did.
She's
She's
now
still running with this new pack.
She's now in the top 10. That's pretty impressive. Tosuma's managed to take 4th from Rariston here. Meanwhile, the mixing in the back of the field here is quite crazy. AWSCO now here battling with Andrea Davison.
3 wide at the back.
3 wide there with Talberson, McJasmine, and Harina. I think Talberson made some contact with Harina there in 52. Really lost a lot of ground. I'm not sure what happened to the 52. Here comes the 93. Now, keep in mind, in the Cup Series, nobody has won from the pole yet this season. Tosuma's looking to be the first to do that. Cole looks to the inside on Yanaga once again. 46 took second, but the 52 trying to take it back.
Still side by side for second. Cole tries the inside again. Can't get the grip. Washes back to the middle. Rariston on the inside of Arena Tosuma now.
Jemmy McJasmine as well up in the 10th spot. Remember, she was also, I believe, involved in that wreck on the first lap, first corner. Here comes Cole again. And here comes Tosuma, maybe looking to try and take it 3 wide, although she does not go for it.
Doesn't go for it that time.
Now Rariston's looking to take it 3 wide.
Into turn 1.
Cole's checking both of them up.
Rariston managed to hang on to that inside groove, but she didn't get a good enough run off of the corner to hang on to that spot.
Yeah. She's still going to stay with the 93 here, though.
Lights up a little bit of contact, I think, with Tosuma in the middle of the corner.
Yeah. Couldn't hang on to it there. If anything, now I'm going to start to wonder, what's it going to look like when they all come to pit road? Because we're starting to get into that stage where we might see we're probably going to see a pit cycle under green. Are they going to be able to keep it under control enough to stay under green through that pit cycle? As Cole looks again to the inside on Yanaga. But now I think the tires are to the point where it's very hard to make that move really stick at all. And Tosuma trying to take advantage on the 52 of Cole.
Approaching a lap car now.
Yeah, they're approaching the 42 of Gennaro. See if maybe Cole tries to pin Yanniga behind the 42 here. That's a teammate to Yanniga, so... And the 42 stays in the high lane.
That was the strategy, and it worked.
52 is able to get by for second. And here comes the 32 of Celia Rariston now.
Rariston had to back off and hang a hard left to not get into the back of the 52 car.
And Yanniga trying to fight back on the 93 of Tosima now. As the field swallows up the 42 of Gennaro, pushes her out of the line. The 32 of Rariston now really trying it and really wants to get by the 52 for seconds, so... But it's been a Jarosaraj who's dominated so far. 98 cars snagged the lead on a restart, and aside from one lap where the 46 was able to get by her, it's been pretty much entirely Eva Jarosaraj since the last restart. See if Rariston can try and pull a run on the 52, but the 32 doesn't look like she's close enough. She dived it into turn 1 anyways, though.
Pull through the block early enough, but the dive bomb didn't really matter. But Rariston's still all over the back bumper of the 52 car.
And here comes Tosima, maybe looking at 3. Tosima thought about going 3 wide on those two.
And crossed top to bottom and then decided better in the dive bomb. Smart move, I think, with the
She
tires
slipped a
wearing out.
bit in turn 1, though. That's going to let the 46 get underneath. They're kind of looking like an open wheel race right now in terms of how it looks like draft-wise. They're just kind of letting one car punch the hole right now and just not really making that move yet. Rariston to the inside on the 52, and she got a pretty good run. Here comes
There
Tosima.
goes Tosima again.
She thought 3 wide again. Cole, big run up top, though. How about Koo making her way up here? Look at that 38 here.
It's making moves. Just went a little too hot in the turn 1 that time.
I think that the 93 diving it down 3 wide scared Rariston enough to where it kind of messed up her move there on the 52.
I think so too. And then when that 93 checked up in the middle of the corner, that backed up Jentve Yanniga, and that offered Young Wei Kudo. At least try and make a move.
There's
into
the
top five. We
contact
got
between these two.
contact.
Cole, I think, wanted the bottom, and the 32 was already there.
It's thick. They're side by side at the line and heading into turn 1.
Well, that's the thing about this track is there's plenty of room. There's plenty of room, and you're not going slow enough in these corners to really make it that bad. Rariston finally clear of the 52, and now she's going to try and set her sights on the 98. We're going to catch another lap car. It is the 82 of Yuria.
Rariston's got the speed. We'll see if maybe she waits to use the lap car as a pick to take the lead away.
Here's this mix back here. They're just kind of settling down back here. And I think that's what they've started to do up front as well. Not really pushing it right now, but Rariston is looking now.
when we catch that 82 car.
I think she's going to try to pin that 98. She can't really get that pin done quite yet.
Couldn't
The
get
98.
it, caught the lap car on the straightaway.
They caught the lap car on the straightaway, but the 98 slipped just a bit.
That opens
Ariston's
the door.
having a look to the inside.
Door's open. Ariston's got to find the grip on the bottom lane to get by.
The door's just kind of creaked open, but 32 isn't able to fit her way through before it closes again. I think that's kind of what's going on with that 32. Well, they're going 3 wide back here. 32 to the inside again. Slots back in, though. There's Tosima battling with Ku.
Diagonal move between the 60 and the 38. Try and cut the inside on Youngwei Ku.
Now the 60 and 38, those are 2 teammates. Those are the Gulf Racing teammates that are kind of next to each other. Although there's a car between them now, with Ku firmly ahead of Tosima. Ariston's pressuring a Jarsaraj still. She's there.
Has a look. We'll see if she can get it into turn 2.
See if she's able to make the dive, but I'm not sure she will. She's sticking. Now she drops back in here, but she's been there for a bit. I think the 32 is definitely fast enough to make a move. It just depends on whether she can actually get it done, because the 98's doing a really good job of just kind of managing the arrow here.
Yeah, I mean, as the 98 keeps blocking and the tires keep wearing down, you're going to have less of a chance to make a pass on the inside on even more worn tires. So she's got to get the move done soon. She has the speed. She just can't find a way past Ava Zarsharaj right now.
I think the 32, what she's got to do here is she's just got to make a run off the corner here, as we got cars on pit road now. The 8 cars in, the 96 is in as well. That outside line's just better for corner exit, and I think that's what's carrying the 98 a lot here, is that the 98 can slip up a groove and still maintain that corner exit speed. Oh, the 32 thought it almost made some contact.
Thought about it. Has a look into 3 here. Not going to get the right angle.
It's all going to depend on how quickly she can get the power down there as well. And another thing that you want to do here is be very careful on that pit exit. That pit exit, that access road especially, very difficult to get up to speed on. It doesn't have a lot of grip, and there have been some major accidents that have happened because of that. Not being able to keep control on the access road.
Look for maybe try and take over third.
Coloran's coming in. Here comes the 32 for the race lead. To the inside.
Corner.
And the 32 did not get any momentum. Oh, we do have a caution. You're right. What's the caution for?
Not sure. Yellow is out.
Getting word it might be the 42. Oh yeah, 42 was very, very slow. And that car, she just didn't make it back, and she just stopped up there. Well, Tabrisia Tolaron got an extremely lucky break because I believe Tolaron is still... Tolaron's still in the lead lap here.
I think this is going to be a similar situation to what we saw with Mauricio Bebos, where caution came out as 15 was on pit road, and we might see 15 actually cycle out to the lead here.
I believe we will. Oh, the 34 is blowing up now. Ellie, you got word on Gennaro while we figure out what happened to Harina?
Yeah, it looks like one of the front tires on that car ended up going and ended up slowing her down a lot, so that's what ended up causing that.
Well, everybody comes down pit road as we expected.
Out of the race.
Yeah. See if we can figure out who the free pass cars is actually, because I forgot to check that. .27 is the free pass car.
Ellie, what do you have on the 34 car?
Looks like some damage to the header ended up causing her car to start catching on fire.
Oh, that is an unfortunate situation. Another driver who was running up front in that lead pack.
Yeah.
Up there in the race with an engine issue.
.42 still sitting on pit road there. So Tolaron the leader. Uria's a lap down. So the 82 will get waived. Before the next, the 82 will get waived around here before the next, when we get the one to go.
So 15, 98, 52, 93, 32 on the
Correct.
restart.
And the 34 of Harina's out of the race now, so. And for Harina, that's really rough for her because she's in the middle of that cut battle, and then the engine goes. Lights are out. Uria will get waved around here. as the top 10 wave around takes effect here. So there will be 22 cars on the lead lap. Fabrizio Toleron got lucky, stayed out on that pits. Managed. She came to pit road just before the caution came out, and cycled out to be the leader. Once everyone came out of pit road, so Toleron with a bit of a lucky break here, which is something that she has not had much of this season. Toleron 39th in points. She missed the in-season tournament. She's just kind of riding around. She owns this team.
Start on the access road to pit lane.
Toleron owns this team, the Royal Racing team. Pace car's off. Toleron and Ajar Siraj will lead him to the green. Cole, Tosima, Rariston will follow. Green flag is out. Here we go. And a great restart for the 15.
Really good restart. Rachel Cole's going to try and take second away. In turn one here, everybody on fresh tires.
Everybody on fresh tires. Here comes Tosima. Cole got second. Here comes Tosima trying to take third away from Ajar Siraj.
Force the 98
Clear.
offline. That's power to take third away. Here, look at Cynthia Rariston trying the inside in turn 3.
On Youngwei Koo. And Toleron's hanging on so far. But Ajar Siraj fights back on Tosima now for third.
Turn 2 now.
3 wide dive. Here comes Rariston.
Right.
Here comes Rachel Cole for the lead. That's dicey.
Really dicey.
Oh, this is all over the place. Here we go. 3 wide for the lead. Here comes Ajar Siraj. Toleron with the run off. But the 98 with a daring send there. And she gets back to second.
All kinds of action happening behind them.
And we may see that move for the lead by the 98 come very shortly. Because this 98 car looks very fast right now.
3 wide further back.
There's 3 wide. The 93, 46, 38. Cole to the inside on Ajar Siraj. She's not letting her have it easy. And you know, the smaller teams have really come out to play in this one. We expected Uberman Enterprise to be good. I'm not sure we expected really Royal Racing to be up here. I'm not sure we expected both Gulf Racing cars up here. How about North Star Motorsports with the 52? As Ajar Siraj to the inside of Toleron for the lead.
Where that 52 of Rachel Cole goes.
3 wide to the bottom is where she goes. 3 wide side by side at the line. And Cole to the inside, and she's going to take the lead. How about that move?
Rachel Cole, round of applause. She takes the lead away. It was a 3 wide dive bomb into turn 3. And with those fresh tires, she just had the grip to make it stick. But Ava Zarsharaj is not going to give it up that easy.
No, she is not. How about Youngwei Koo up in the 4th spot? Remember that spin earlier?
Hasn't deterred her at all. She's looking to work into a podium position.
Might have made her better. And this pack has kind of tacked on a few extra cars now. Taylor Happen's managed to stick with this group, as well as Yatika. And Jetta's now along here. So is Yukovic and Nihale.
Single file now, but I don't see that lasting very long.
Yeah, it lasted not even a straightaway. Here comes the 98 to the inside on Cole. Cole with a run off the corner, though. And Tollerhone looks 3 wide to the inside now. Tollerhone looks to try to make something stick. Here on the bottom. They both slide up the track.
Here comes Tosima now.
Here comes the 93 with a big run to the bottom.
Everybody's here. Yonigan, please slide up on the outside line. Lucy Avanci in this group now. Rachel Cole is...
Rachel Cole's loving this. Loving watching these cars fight behind her. Look at everyone mixing it up here. Azar Siraj finally clear for second, but they are all over the place further back.
46, look at her down low. She went top to bottom into turn 3.
Took us a bit, but we're getting some great racing here from Lausitzring.
Side by side 3 wide. We might get 4 wide here if we're not careful. Look at Taylor Ackerman in the 31 on the inside.
Yeah, how about the 31 car? She's made her way up here. 4 wide in turn 2. Is Yannick really trying to push on the 93 here? Oh, the 46 is around! She got bumped around. Caution is out.
That was off the front bumper of the 39 of Lily Talberson. Caution is out. You knew it was going to happen eventually.
Yeah. I believe the
Luckily,
52 and
nobody else
98 are technically racing back to the line still. That's why these two have gapped the field by such an incredible amount. 98's trying to take the lead before they get to the line, but Cole's going to hang on to
Not
it.
gonna get it. Luckily, nobody else collected it.
We'll see how badly that damaged the 46 car, but it looked like she didn't nose it into the wall too hard.
Now we get to line them back up and do that all over again.
Yeah. High action racing here from Germany. Now, I imagine they'll all be coming down pit road here.
We've got cars making their way down pit road.
Yep, everybody's coming down pit road. As we'll get an eye on the race out. We'll watch the race out of pit road here. Some cars are stacking up here. Jarstraj looks like she's going to jump the 52 out of pit road here. 98 with a good stop. Whoa,
Oh,
contact there between the
contact.
15 and the 1. See if we can figure out anything that's... See if we can see what happens to the 46 here. She just got a nose off the 39.
Yeah, I think Lily Tolverson tried to get to the inside coming off the corner, and I don't know if the car lost grip, but she came up into the back of the 46 and sent her around. A racing incident there.
Yeah, clearly no intent there. Just a bit of an ouchie for Talberson and Yanaga, and especially for Yanaga because Yanaga's still looking at getting into the playoffs on points. But for those drivers around the cut line, pretty much all of the drivers around the cut line have had some sort of issue today, except for the one of Vancy, funny enough. If you're wondering what was the issue with the 27, she pitted a little early and then got put a lap down when the caution came out.
It's 71 laps into this race. 5 cautions, I think now.
Yeah.
Somewhere around there. And when we actually get a green flag run, we've seen the racing has been incredible. We could do that again when we go green. Leave probably a lap and a half. Now.
So Jarsaraj, Cole, Vancy, Tolerone, Rarest in the top 5. Then it's Davison, Koo, Tosima, Talberson, and Wesco, the top 10 off pit road. The free pass actually went to the 96 of Angeli Rigatino. She's back on the lead lap, although I'm not sure for how long this 96 car will be back on the lead lap, considering it looks like that.
Well, we did say this was an open wheel track.
I guess that's true. I'm not sure that really counts as open wheel.
Yeah, the front of the wheels are open. That's close enough.
Fair enough, I guess.
F1 cars had wheel arches or little wings on top of the wheels for a little bit. Well, it's pretty much the same thing.
I mean, F1 cars have had basically everything, to be fair, if you think about it, so.
Yeah. Surprised no one's put a laser on an F1 car yet.
Key word there is a yet.
Yeah. Adrian knew he's putting that on the Aston Martin next year. Be sure to stay tuned. About 30 laps time, it's the mid-race report with Russia and Ellie.
Yeah.
Take you through the race so far, and we'll all give our predictions on who we think is going to win this thing.
Pace car's pulling off now. You know, we've talked a lot about Evans Ross Racing and how good they've been. How about the two former Evans Ross Racing drivers, Fabrizio Tolerone and Cindy Rarison? 4th and 5th right now.
Yeah, great performance from both those drivers. Rarison made some real aggressive moves in turn 3, and it's paid off in an advantage.
Green flag is out.
Nailed it on pit strategy. got lucky with the caution. She's been able to hang on to that spot.
They're going
Like,
4 wide into
four
turn
wide,
1.
turn one.
Tosima made up a lot of spots from that.
Just as I said, Toron was hanging on to that spot. She got stuck on the outside 4 wide and is now losing a bunch of positions.
Jura Siraj had a pretty good restart. She hangs on to the lead. Here comes Rarison looking for third as she makes contact with the 1 car on corner exit. In turn 2.
Off a corner exit. Tries the inside now in turn 3. Nancy's gonna push Tosima.
I'm curious how that accident might have hurt the 46, if it did at all. But I am not sure we're gonna see. I'm not sure we're gonna see much results from that for a little bit. So.
38 running like crew is anything to go by. We'll see that 46 back up at the front in no time.
Yeah, that's a fair point. Although I'm not sure the 38 actually hit anything. I think she just spun.
No, the 38 didn't hit anything, but 46 only hit a small love tap on the inside wall, so as far as I'm aware, she should be okay.
How about 3 wide here for second? Tosima takes it away. '93's made up a lot of ground since the restart.
Sanity took a short vacation in Brazil, and it is back in full force. She started on pole. She's P2 right now. That 93 is on a warpath to get back in victory lane.
And it's 3 drivers who've already won this season so far in the top 3.
Got 4 wide back there on the front straightaway. Or at least it was 4 wide.
Here we go. Here comes the 93 for the race lead. Tosima's got to run. She looks to the inside on Ajar Siraj. Pushes the 98 a little wide.
Been really good at blocking all day, but she just can't hold off Tosima. Clear for the lead.
And the 93's up front.
He's going to try and use this to her advantage. Young Weiku on the inside.
Contact!
The 32 around.
The 32, I think, wasn't clear yet, and she almost lost it. Great job to hang on to it as Ajar Siraj fights back to the inside of Tosima. That was almost exactly what we saw happen with Yanniga earlier.
Somehow managed to hang on to it. He's still in 3rd place.
Tosima sticks into the lead. I actually don't think Rariston lost any spots from that.
I don't think she did either. A pass in the green.
How about Gulf Racing having both of their cars in the top 5 right now? The 60 and the 38.
Great run from that team so far today. Adversity overcome for 38 at Young Weiku, and the 60's been really strong all day as well.
Yeah. Well, this team has kind of struggled a year, and it's kind of been reported that they're kind of struggling in terms of their financials lately, so a good run for both cars would be something they'd really like. AWSCO in 4th, Ku in 5th.
There's one thing that attracts sponsors, it's, finishing well in races.
Yeah.
4th and 5th, nothing to sneeze at. AWSCO's gonna try for 3rd here.
She's trying for 3rd on Rariston. Not able to get quite the momentum she needs. Rachel Cole slipped back here. Here's Sky and Jetta up here now in that 16 car. Remember Sky and Jetta running very well last week in Rio? She's doing it again here, and she's been trying to single-handedly drag her way up towards the points margin. Even after missing a race and going through all that Southwest Racing has put her through. And Jetta continues to run well week in, week out.
I side for a second. That's what Postma wants, is to get her mirror.
Harrison slipped a little bit. Here comes the 60 of AWSCO. AWSCO pushes the 32 out a little bit. There's this group running back here. Yappy Malikson's just kind of trying to survive right now. That car, you know, clearly off the pace, but she's just trying to survive. She's sitting 21st right now, and as long as she can hold that spot, and the 64 doesn't gain too much, well, Malikson would retain the points lead. But I think the important thing for any of those drivers that don't have wins, that are off the pace, you don't want to see a new driver win. If you're near that cut line, you don't want to see a new winner, because that would make everything a lot more different in terms of how that cut line cycles out. You're hoping that there are some spots available on points.
Right now, it's not looking like we're going to get a new winner, but we still got more than half the race left to go. So a lot can change in that 140 laps.
We haven't seen a new winner since Abby Little at Michigan. And the closest driver to doing that right now is actually Emery AWSCO in the 60 car. How about Michele Yotsuka in the 92? She's running pretty well.
I haven't really talked about her much today. That Valvoline machine up in this group. Interesting line into turn 3 there.
Bit of a low line, and she's... Oh, the 52 of Cole is around, and also off the bumper, the 39. Contact hard for the 27 of Garnston. Vebelst involved as well.
Caution out yet again.
That's going to bring out the caution. And Rachel Cole, who had been doing so good, has had it all slip away.
Racing back to the line, it'll be the 93. Irina Toastman, that was a hard hit for Rachel Cole.
Yeah, that was... That was pretty rough. And unfortunately for Rachel Cole, that's going to take her out. It's going to knock Vebelst out, as well as Garnston, who were... And Garnston is another driver who is on that cut line.
That was the exact same situation to what we saw with the Enfianaga earlier, except 52 slid back up into the outside lane of the track, and there was nowhere for the 27 and 99 to go.
Yeah. Schliesenbach will be the free pass car, so the 8 car will get 1 lap back. one of her 2 laps back. As the field comes down pit road. Tosima just wins the race out. AWSCO, AWSCO, Davison, Rariston, Yatica, Koo, Happeman, McJasmine, and Jetta, the top 10 off pit road. Gotta see what happens here. But I have a feeling, yep, it was the same thing as before.
It was a bad bounce for the 52, and she's going to get hit. Oh! It was a good angle of it. All 4 tires up off the ground. Ooh.
Nothing Vebels could have done there. I think the 15 slides in the background here along with the... The 8 and the 15 bounces into the wall, and she spins out as well. I'm not sure if that's her trying to slow down for the incident or not, but...
Wondering is how she ended up back with the cars with no hood.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not exactly sure how she got back there. Well, Tosima won the race off pit road.
She will still lead when we go back green.
Yep.
She's won 2 of the last 3 points races. She leads here at the Lausitz round. Bringing a toast of a one to watch, as usual, in this race. AWSCO in the 60, currently running 3rd. Great day for that team. Been running up front, has shown pace. And if she gets a good restart, she could take the lead here.
Yeah. Garnston, Cole, and Vebels are all out of the race.
No surprise there. Lights out on the pace car.
We'll go green this time. Tosima, AWSCO, Wesco, Davison, Rariston, Yatica, Koo, Happeman, McJasmine, and Jetta is the top 10.
Restart will be on lap 90 of 198 here. With 109 laps to go when we restart. A lot of racing left. Still quite a few cars left too. So
Yeah. Still quite a few, competitive cars too.
yeah.
So this race could get pretty dicey here. Cars shift down into restart gear. The pace car is going to pull off here this time. As everyone gets ready for the restart here from the Lausitz ring. Tosima leading the way as the 31 is pulled down for some reason. Green flag.
For now.
Green flag is out for now, but the 31 did not go. In fact, she stopped on the track. Is that going to bring out another caution? It does not look like it.
We didn't have a yellow.
Well, that's going to be very unfortunate for Happeman's run. Ellie?
It looks like the 31 had some kind of tire issue. Yeah, that's what happened with that car.
Well, tough way for that to happen. Right on the restart for Happeman as well.
92 is going to force 32 out wide and take the fourth away.
These are interesting little statistic, but there's Gianni McJasmina in the 6 car. McJasmina has not scored a top 10 on an oval all season.
That is quite the statistic.
She has 3 top 10s this year. They're all on road courses, including her win in Montreal. But she's yet to score a top 10 on an oval. Jarshras still second. AWSCO third. There's Raristow in fourth. McJasmina and Yatika fighting for fifth. And Jetta's going to try to inject herself into this battle. Here comes Lily Talberson as well. Who's got blood on her nose. Oh, that's really tight. And the 62 just blew by the 16 from that. But Arinia Tosima has been the car that's been interesting to watch all race. Tosima's got the lead again. Azar Siraj in second, sitting behind. There's AWSCO in third. Rarest in fourth, and it's an absolute dogfight further back for fifth.
62 got a little too high off the corner.
Got a battle for 10th now. Yanaga's going to get by Nihil here for the 10th spot. And
On her way back at the top 10.
remember, the 46 has a little bit of nose damage, but... Oh, I lied. She's actually up to 11th.
Almost.
Almost into the top 10. And the car she'd have to she's going to have to pass to get back into the top 10 is actually the 38 of Koo. Haberman, I think, is still on pit road.
Extended stay on pit road for Taylor Haffman. Something seriously wrong with that car. See if they can get back out onto the racetrack. But she's going to be numerous laps down for racing.
She's already 5 laps down. Unless there's a rash of cautions, Haberman's race is pretty much over here. Finally getting back out on track. How about Halis Dukovic in the 62? Driver from Croatia. Another European driver up here. I know this is that home race for those European drivers. Jarsaraj kind of qualifies for her. Same for Jukovic, same for Yatica. Same for Valicia Vancy. As Happeman now finally merges on back onto the track. This group back here is an absolute mess right here.
They're all over the place.
But from third on up, it's kind of not really much of a battle. What a run the 39 got on the top lane there, by the way.
Gonna try and carry it to the inside, try and pass the 62 as well.
She's gonna do it. But Irina Tosum is still out front. There's Yanaga now up into the top 10. There's two drivers, I think, that are candidates for the spin and win now.
Yeah. And they're right next to each other on the racetrack.
Yeah.
Pretty wide off of turn 3.
How about McJasmine fighting back?
Well, we lost an ERR car in the last track. We picked up another one in the top 5. Lily Talberson sitting P4 right now.
Yeah, Talberson sitting P4, despite kind of everything. But now we've kind of gone into a spot of this race where it's going to kind of end up looking a little calm. There's not really a lot of cars bunched together at this stage now. There's Njeta trying to make a gain up for 5th here on Jukovic, and the 16 will take that spot away. And keep in mind the 31 battling here is not for position. She's 5 laps down at the moment.
We are at the halfway point in this race, so very soon we should send it to the mid-race report, but we'll sort out the on-track action here and then send it down to them in a few laps.
We're going to stick it out for here for a little bit. Sky and Jetta moving up to the 5th spot. But now everybody's kind of single-filed out. It's pretty calm up here. There's Rariston's kind of dropped back. Teresa Tolrone. That 15 car just doesn't look like it's at the same pace it was before. Same for the 22. I'm not sure what's up with the 22 Davison.
Sure, maybe those two got into each other earlier, and that's an issue that we missed alongside the big crash, but...
Talberson going to take 3rd away from AWSCO. She's clear for that spot.
AWSCO fighting back, using that outside lane, maybe see if she can get a dive into turn 1.
39 is on a charge right now.
Laps done in this race. We're on lap 101 of 198.
100 laps complete. Tosima, Ajarsaraj, Talberson, AWSCO, and Njeta is the top 5. Jukovic, McJasmina, Yatica, Yanaga, and Ku is the top 10. As things stand right now, we're going to take you down to the FanDuel Fan Studio for the mid-race report with Rasha and Ellie. They'll talk about what we've seen in this race so far. Rasha, Ellie, what do you two got?
Hello and welcome everyone to the mid-race report. We're in the middle of a bit of a green flag watching the 93. Watching the 93 of Arena Tosuma, your pole sitter leading the way at the Lausitz Ring. At the Euro Speedway Lausitz here in Germany. The 93 has Like I say, the 93 right now is leading from pole, but it's not been it's not been an easy path to get up back to the front. She dropped back quite a bit early on, moved right back up now, and finds herself leading. We've had a few cautions early on. It took out quite a few cars, and since then we've had a bit of a kind of a string of I should say two car incidents, cars spinning out on the exit of corners. That seems to be an issue we've had with these drivers. They've been very aggressive today. Some of that maybe just a little bit of a lapse in judgment maybe on the exit of these corners. That does kind of happen at these flatter tracks. I think that is a theme that we sometimes see in these flatter tracks, is that drivers will oftentimes wash up trying to do a slide job from the inside lane, maybe run into someone else who's running a line higher than them. What do you think of the racing so far? I mean, they've definitely been trying to make passes here.
Yeah, I think the racing has been great after we got past that like little flurry of yellows. Ever since we got past that bit, it's been really great, really enjoyable to watch, and they've actually been trying to make passes even on the turns. The turns have actually been really good for passing. Yeah, I've been very captivated by some of the driving I've seen so far. I really like how a lot of the top 5 is performing.
Yeah, I mean, I think the run of cautions at the beginning of the race is, what that's been really good for is the racing, because I think we've seen with the way sliding up from the inside has been, with how effective that has been as an overtaking maneuver, as we see the 39 try that, running side by side with the 98 of a Garage right here, with the importance of that as an overtaking strategy. That's definitely something that's been at its most effective with newer tires. We've seen when we've had green flag runs, it's the 39 clears the 98 for second, making it an ERR 1-2.
Yeah.
These are the 2 ERR race winners we've had in this run of race wins they've had in a row. But yeah, on these new tires, when the drivers are on new tires, they definitely have the most grip to kind of make those moves.
Yeah.
As we look at the 39 here, we'll see if she's definitely trying to look for a way past the 93 on the inside.
Yeah, and I've been eyeing her all race, even when she was kind of more towards the back of the top 10-ish area. She was trying to make moves, it looked like, but she couldn't get clean air. And then as soon as she got clean air, she started kind of running away with it. I think there was a bit where, like, I think she was maybe, like, top 6 around there, and
she's been running in the top 10 pretty much all day, so.
Yeah. There was a bit where she was, like, in around, like, 6 or something like that, and she, like, cut through a bunch of other drivers. That was really impressive to watch.
Yeah, restarts have been kind of a point of kind of a high point for the aggression. We've seen cars send it 3-4 wide at this track. There's plenty of room. There is plenty of room, especially down the middle, but there's not much competitive real estate, so cars will definitely try to squeeze each other off the track, and that's caused some problems. But when those moves have worked, they've really worked. As you see, these 3 now.
Yeah, and then 98.
Starting to pull away a little bit.
98's trying, but the 39 looks like she just keeps getting really good runs.
Yeah, we mentioned this being a home race for some of the other European drivers here. Of course, Gyarsoraj is from Hungary, who's I'd say about the same. It's about the same distance from the Lausitzring as it is to the Netherlands or a place like that. So definitely another one of those. Another track where I don't think she's ever run at the oval layout, obviously, but she may have run this in one of her past. She might have experienced the road course version of this in a past series. So the 39 continues to look around, trying to find a way. 93 is keeping that middle line nice and steady. We'll jump over to the battle for 4th here as Jukovic. That's Injeta Jukovic and Nick Jasmine, 2 of the Southwest cars alongside the Atlantic Racing Honda there.
Yeah, I don't think we've seen Injeta too much until like the later half
In Jetta's, yeah. Yeah, I mean the Southwest cars, the three that are still running have been doing pretty well. Seem to have alleviated most of their engine problems in the last few weeks here. Let's just move right back to the front as we do see a battle for the lead.
Oh,
Here comes Tolberson. Here comes Lily Tolberson in the 39. Found the inside. For a second there, I thought the Gearstars was going to make it 3 wide off of 3.
Thought the
We've
same
seen
thing
that
too.
before. We've seen that before. We've seen 3 wide for the race lead here. That's something that happens. That happens kind of often on the restarts, but not deep into a green flag run like this. 93 of Tosma was able to hold off and clear the 39 once again. So holding on to that lead for now.
she's holding on. Oh, and the 39 is looking again.
39 does look faster. She looks really good and definitely looks good in turn 2. But turn 2 is one of the harder places to pass because it's very flat here. It's very flat here, but there's quite a lot of grip on the outside. So it's a lot easier to defend on the outside of turn 2.
Yeah.
But here's where things get tricky. 39 just isn't able to carry the momentum, which is kind of the real strategy in 2 and 3 is just kind of hold on to as much momentum as possible. And holding the outside for the exit has been really, really helpful for Tosama here in the last few laps.
It's really interesting to watch these two go at it. They're also teammates as well.
Yeah, definitely giving each other a little bit of room here.
Yeah.
Especially now that we're kind of in the middle of a green run, so
A pack of 3 back there. Looks like they're trying to move up a little
I think
more.
they've caught about a tenth or so, but they're gonna need to work together the entire way to get to them.
They've got
Here's
so
Michele
many
Yatica.
points.
Yatica, who is on the lead lap, running 7th, has been quietly stringing together some good performances. Still kind of in that playoff race. I think she's let's see, she is 41 points out. Came into this race tied with her Inverness Racing teammate, the 26 of Chantose. Then you have the 46 and the 60 here. These are 8th and 9th, and then you have the 10. This is the battle for 10th here between the 38, 32, 1, and 64. Looking at some of the other cars here, you have the 8 who's been still running without a hood. Malakson in the 23, the 70, the 20, the 31, 96, and 22. And we have a caution now. We'll see what happened. It looks like the 15 may have had an issue. Looks maybe some sort of mechanical issue that stranded that car off in the middle of the track somewhere, but we'll be sure to get a replay of that. But just like that, we're now under caution. We've had that issue. We've had that before. We had the 42 of Mika Gennaro blow a tire. Yep, that's exactly what happened. 15 looks like, yeah, 15 blew up, I think, in the middle of turn, this middle of turn 3, yeah.
Yeah.
And pit entry is pretty early, so yeah, she had to go the full lap around, which I don't think was gonna happen. We'll see here. Looks like the car is out back. We're able to dodge the 15, but yeah, that's a big blow to the to the Napa machine, who's run really well today. And oh yeah, stopped right in the middle of turn 1. That would warrant a caution.
Yeah.
Engine gave up one of the worst places on track there. That's really unfortunate for the 15 of for the driver of the number 15, who hasn't had much.
I'm interested to see how the
Fabrizio hasn't really seen much to many high points in the season, so that run up until that engine going was I think a real high point for her this season. As we'll follow the 93 here. She does have the first pit stop for taking pole, though she needed to get around the 15 of Fabrizio there.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how this restart cycles out.
Yeah, and we'll definitely get to see some of the aggression that these drivers have been putting up. There's the 98 taking second, actually. 98 will take second. Almost took the lead off of pit road. Good stop for the 98 team. There, I believe everyone, everyone on the same strategy. So I think the 90, looks like everyone took 4 tires, so that wasn't a strategy game, but the 98 just had a really good stop.
And
Car's fanning out there.
something happened.
Something happened with the 98. I think the 98 might have slowed down and forced some of these cars to fan out. Or maybe it was the opposite. But that'll let the 616 and all these cars to the 3 cars that were pursuing the top 3 to catch right back up. We see a replay here. We're looking for something. Just confirming there that the 8 of Lori Schliesenbach is going to get one of her laps back. She drops to the inside. This will, I think, put her back on the lead lap. The Inverness race, the Uman Enterprise car, the home team, per se, getting back on the lead lap. Has been a real long race for that 8 car, but she's stuck it out pretty well here. Obviously wanting to get try to grab as many points as possible, and doing pretty good job at that even without that front end. Yeah, we do wonder how this is going to change the racing dynamic. We saw how good the top 3 were, but now that everyone's gotten a chance to make more adjustments to the car, now everyone's bunched up again. We'll see if maybe those 3 Southwest cars that are right there in pursuit of the top 3. We'll see if they might have something to say about this. Well, maybe the 38 as well. 38 jumped 4 spots. 3 spots, I should say. Moved up from 10th to 7th. Yataka there still in 8th. 62 had a bit of a slow stop alongside the 60. Both of them dropping to the edge of the top 10. But yeah, we mentioned aggression on the restarts, and with one coming on pretty soon here. I think we'll definitely be seeing some fanning out early on. At least 3 wide, probably, into turns 1.
I would expect that, yeah.
Yeah, and possibly out of 3 as well on the first lap of the restart. And with that, how have you been? How have you looking at the strategy game so far? I mean, I guess we haven't really seen that much in terms of green flag strategy. I think I think we've had a conveniently timed caution every time we do think about that kind of thing, basically.
Yeah.
This race has kind of just been chasing down to the next mechanical failure, it seems.
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, other than that, I haven't really, kind of noticed anything that, stood out to me. There wasn't anything that was, a spectacle to me that anybody was doing strategy-wise.
Yeah. Hasn't really been something that's, that has been too much of an issue, I think, for these teams.
Yeah. I mean,
Unlike at Rio last week. Speaking of mechanical issues, we mentioned some of these cars that have had mechanical issues. We can't forget about the 10 of Audi Stoneman, who blew up from the lead very early on in the race. Obviously,
Yeah.
that means she'll be classified pretty low in this race. 27th, not too bad considering a lot of cars were taken out early on, but still, that's gonna be a real detriment to her points position, given that both the 46 and 27 are still here. I think the 27 is a lap down, but the 46 is right here in 6th place, potentially looking at a shot at the win. We saw what happened to Parkings, and the 34 also blew up, so that's going to leave room for the 1 of Vancy, who has been kind of in the edge of the top 10. Pace car pulling to the inside now, preparing for the restart here. Well, what are your predictions for this restart? Do you think the 93 is going to be able to defend here? I think it's been kind of tough to defend from the lead here.
Yeah.
Because the draft is pretty powerful heading into 1. So
Yeah.
the driver in second's been able to jump down to the inside. As we're going back green now here at the Euro Speedway Lausitz for the Dekra, and the Dekra 400 resumes. 98 does just that. Jumps to the inside of Arinia Tosama there. Side by side through 1. McJasmina does the same to Talberson. McJasmina clears. Agyar Swaraj doesn't. We'll Will McJasmine send it 3 wide? Here comes Sky and Jetta for 4th. 6 is gonna stick with the 98. But the 98's gonna leave room for the 6. It's gonna be 3 wide off of 2.
Yeah, this is close.
This is the kind of racing we're talking about. They're gonna be 3 wide into 3 at least, but the 93 with a
Great run.
bold move to drop down there. And a great restart by Arinia Tosama to retain the lead. Talberson now on the outside looking to get up 3rd back. And just like that, it's back to these 3 being in the top 3. But now Njetta and Ku. That's another thing. That's another thing about this track is that momentum is really important. It's kind of like Pocono Turn 3. That Turn 3 at this track is kind of like Pocono Turn 3, where you really want to maintain momentum more than anything else. And being on the outside is kind of really help with that, and maintaining as much speed as possible.
Yeah, and the
Ooh, contact 16 is loose.
damn.
4 wide, by the way, at the back. All right, looks like they've somewhat settled down, which I think is means is a good time to segue over to our fan pick segment here. With that, I guess you can go first, Ellie. Who's your FanDuel fan pick right now? Lots of cars fighting for the lead, so plenty to choose from right now.
I really like the way that Tosama's been driving. She's very bold. She's very clean with her driving. I really like the way she's running. I think she's probably going to be the one to do it, but I think anybody in the top 3, top 4 right now looks really good as well. But she's going to be my pick, Tosama for sure.
Ooh, more contact there between the 62 and the 92. Again, more aggression being the name of the game here. I think you've been right in mentioning just how, that the 93 has been using aggression to her benefit here, using just enough to make sure she stays in the lead.
Yeah, she hasn't been aggressive in a unsafe, careless way. She's been aggressive in a kind of strategic, calm, collected.
Yeah, I think that's a fair way of putting it. I'm gonna go with one of these 2 cars going in second. I'm gonna go with the number 6 of Jami McJasmine right now. Looks like these Southwest cars have been building up pace in this race. They've looked especially good in the last about 20 laps or so. Right now, 2 of them sitting in the top 5 right now, with the 46 in 10th. But this 6 car has been quite fast, and this pick is probably contingent on another restart happening. But we've seen how you're able to profit off of being 2nd or 3rd in these restarts, using that draft to your advantage. I think Tosama herself did that in one of these restarts earlier on to take the lead. And since then she's not looked back. So if we do get a late restart, you definitely want to keep an eye out on one of these cars that are pursuing the 93 right now. But the way as things stand right now, they're all fighting for 2nd right now. All right, with that, it's a good time now to wrap up our mid-race report here. It's been great having you guys in the studio for the mid-race report. We'll see you guys at the end of the race once again here in the studio for the post-race show. I've been Rasha. Thank you to Ellie for joining me once again in the studio, and we'll take things back to the booth with Echo and Liam for the race.
Yeah, Liam, you got a pick here?
Right, well, the obvious pick right now is Arinia Tosama. She's been fast week in, week out. She's up front. But for the sake of variety, I like Ava Zarsharaz. She's been up front today. She's right now in 3rd, but she usually takes 2nd back. But I think she gets up front. She's been the best blocker up front today. And as long as she takes that lead back, I think she could block her way to the win.
Well, then I'll take Miss Heartbreak Queen from last week's Sky and Jetta. Got knocked out of the way by Perry Alicantes while running 3rd, trying to get the win. Ended up slipping back to 9th. But Jetta's been one of those drivers. This has been a season that has been kind of one that she's run well and just has not had the luck at the end. I think this time she finally gets the luck on her side. I think it'll be Njetta who makes her way up through the field and takes the victory here. And man, they were getting aggressive in that mid-race report. Thanks to Rush and Ellie for calling all that, because that was That was quite fun. They're getting all over the place here, and they're still doing so. Look at
Almost
Yukovic.
4. I think it might have been temporarily 4 wide there.
Look at the 62 of Halis Yukovic.
Well, 92 squeezes to the inside.
Tosma's
Oh,
gone, by the way. The 93 is pulled away by about a second now.
All this, Lily Halverson has found her way all the way to the back of this group.
She's gotten shuffled back, and I'm not sure if you want that 39 behind you right now with how aggressive she's been on the bumper.
Everybody trying to sort things out. Run down that 93. Arinia Tosma ahead by a second and a half that last time by.
Yeah, Tosma's... That 93 car is very strong today, and it's pretty clear. She's gonna be the one to beat here at the Lausitz ring, but this race is not anywhere near over. There's still at least one more stop to go in this race, so they made it about what 45 laps on that last cycle, on that last stop, so.
So, and something we didn't get during the mid-race report that we can go down to pit road now is Ellie's got updates for the 31 and the 15 cars. What do you got for us?
Yeah, so we were in the middle of our mid-race report, but we ended up finding out what happened to the 31 and the 15. The 31 took some minor damage to her engine, but the 15's damage was too fatal, which is why they ended up taking her off of the track.
And the 15 is retired from the race. Per our records, it says she's retired for header. So, clearly something went wrong in the engine compartment either way. But he wanted Taylor Happerman. We also got, obviously we got the report that Taylor Happerman has had some engine trouble as well, but this car doesn't look too badly damaged, but obviously you see she's battling with the 96 right now. I believe, no, that's not for position.
No, it's not. She's 5 laps down.
Yeah. Here's the fight for third. Or for second, excuse me, actually. 98's been shuffled well back. That's the 6, 16, and 60 all going at it for second right now. The 60's got it. 16 with a good run. Same for the 6. They're going to be 3 wide for second off the corner. And how much do you like seeing this if you're Tosima?
Oh, you love it. You look in the mirror.
Oh, the 62 slowing up.
Oh.
Something's up with Yukovic. I'm not sure what.
The mechanical bug's coming in again. See if she can limp that car to pit lane.
I think she's going to make it back. She's gotten onto the access road at the very least.
Slow down the action up front at all, though.
She does make it back. What in the world are they doing over here? Ellie?
Yeah, it looks like some tire issue ended up making the 62 slow down like that.
Another tire now. Fortunately, she did not park it in the middle of the track.
Yeah, she made it back to pit road. So she's not going to lose that much time from that. And they've got her back out on track. Albeit, I think she's going to end up at least a lap down. She might actually stay on the lead lap, I'm not sure. Gianni McJasmina has driven her way up to second spot now.
2 seconds separate her and leader Iranian Toast. A lot of work to do, but
Yeah, but now she's
it's all
gotten
the row in
she's
front
gotten
of her.
single file, and she's got cars behind her to kind of help her draft up there. So I don't think this is over.
Side by side, that's for fourth.
That's for fourth between Ajar Siraj and Ku. 38 holds on to it. The 98's really slipped back now in this run. And yeah, the 6 car didn't gain at all that lap, so. Fastest lap, NordVPN fastest lap right now belongs to the 16 of Sky and Jetta. She's got a 43.876. Ajar Siraj tries to take fourth once again from Ku. See if she can clear. Not quite.
Weird, yeah.
Here comes
Okay,
Talberson
Talberson.
looking 3 wide. Can't get momentum. 6 cars starting to catch the 39, or catch the 93 again, excuse me. There's Yenfi Yanaga. Obviously, remember, Yanaga spun earlier, but she's still up here. Same for Youngwei Ku. She spun earlier as well. She's up to 4th. Trying to hold off Ajar Siraj at the moment. Ajar Siraj to the inside on the 38 of Ku. Once again, that's a battle for 4th. Those two side by side.
Still side by side, 3 and 1 as we get deeper into this run on tires.
Looks like the 98's gonna try to get clear. She will get clear of Ku here.
Let's say Toastmas kept that lead to about 2.1 seconds.
Yeah, Toastman's kind of held the lead stable. It hasn't really gained or dropped.
Been up and down.
That time it dropped.
First time it's dropped to under 2 seconds.
Under 2 seconds. Ku fights back on Ajar Siraj. 38 car trying to take 4th back. But Ajar Siraj, we've seen Ajar Siraj be very good at hanging on to positions.
Stays clear. We get turn 3 now.
Another gain for McJasmine at that time. Very interesting that now we're seeing McJasmine up here into that 2nd spot. Because this 6 car has been fast all day, but she's really kind of slowly but methodically worked her way up here.
Dropped another 1/10 of a second that time. So making way towards a Toastmas.
McJasmine, kind of just restart by restart, been working her way up here. You see Ku.
Single file throughout the field, we have yet to see a green flag pit cycle yet today.
Yeah. We had the start of one, but that was all it really was the start. And then a caution flag came out, and it took all that away. Ku, Talberson, both trying to get underneath the 98 here.
3 wide off of turn 2.
the 39 makes contact with the 38 just a bit. Talberson getting aggressive. Here comes Yanaga in the 46 car. These two continue to try to reel in the 93. But Tosima's pretty well gone right now. AWSCO just sticking with McJasmine at the moment. This is kind of where all the action is, so that's why we're gonna stay. We're gonna stay back here, around here.
You two make contact with the 39 in the middle of the corner there. He's gonna go low on Yenfi Yanaga.
Talberson's gonna make that spot up, and Jetta and Yatika will try to drive their way through as well. Teammates side by side there, and Jetta and Yanaga. Of the top 5, the only drivers without a win as the 60 of AWSCO's come down pit road. That does not appear to be a scheduled stop.
That is definitely off cycle.
So Amory AWSCO and I don't think she can make it to the end from there.
I don't think so. I just think we can get.
I think even at the max 50 laps, at the max 50 lap fuel window, but that would still be short. She would still be about 8 laps short.
Update on that situation, Ellie. What do you have for us?
Yeah, it looks like the 60 car has an oil leak.
Yeah, not good. She's gonna go a lap down on pit road. She's exiting, so hopefully the team got that patched up. Tough break for Amory AWSCO, who's running really well all day long.
You knew that really hurt? That hurt the 6 of McJasmine a lot, because McJasmine now doesn't have the draft help that she had to try and catch this 93. Sky and Jetta trying to make up ground here. She slides in front of Talberson, but Talberson slides back down to the bottom here in turn 3. Jasmine did close that time, though. I guess the thing with the 6 and the 93 is neither of them really have the draft right now.
No. Yeah, gap has been closed down, so let's see how we can get there. They're still fighting back here for position.
Yatica with Talberson and Jetta. Talberson trying to get clear of Jetta. 16 fights back. Not much gain from McJasmine there. But this is kind of where the battling's going on. Tosima leads. McJasmine is second. Ajar Siraj is cycled up to third with AWSCO coming down pit road. Youngwei Ku is fourth and Lily Talberson is sitting fifth.
Just over 50. Sorry, just over 50 laps left in this race.
McJasmine continues to close the gap. Down to 1.37 seconds now. And now this is where it starts to kind of be more strategy thinking. We're thinking about fuel and tire wear here. They pitted around 115. They pitted around they pitted around lap 113. We restarted around lap 116, 117. When do you try to make that stop as the 16 of Anjetta's coming down pit road now? That seems a bit early. I'm not sure you can make it from here.
Yeah, that's too early.
When looking at our fuel window, it looks like 40 laps is about the window, so... I don't think anybody can make it on one more stop, regardless here. I guess maybe if you stretch it.
I'm gonna say this might end up going to fuel mileage. Common theme at these triangle-shaped tracks, I will say.
I wonder if maybe that's why Tosuma's kind of slowed up all of a sudden, because that 93 is continually losing time to the 6. I wonder if maybe Tosuma's trying to save some fuel here. "16's off pit road. She spent a lot of time fixing damage there, so she dropped back. She dropped quite a bit.
She ended up losing a lap for the time being.
Yeah. No, it's the gap's down to under a second now between the 6 and the 93. See if I can find where the 16 cycled out, but it was right here. Right with these cars. She's actually cycled out just behind the 62 of Yukovic. Who, remember, Yukovic had that tire problem. And Fiona go back here with Michele Yatica as well. This is for a 6th. 39 looking to the inside on Ku for 4th.
She's gonna get clear.
She's clear.
Cars approaching.
They're coming up on the 82 and the 42 here. Not sure how big of a role that's going to play in the fight between these two, but it could play a role. Six car continues to close, though. The gap is shrinking, and now I think what McJasmine has the advantage of, she's kind of catching the draft of the 93 a little bit here as, whoa, there's a car stopped on the track! And that will bring out the caution. And somebody absolutely plowed into them. I think it was the 42 of Gennaro. I don't know who that was. The 93 had to check up quite a bit. It sounds like it was the 20 of DeGabri Abriella.
I saw a flash of yellow, and then the crash happened.
Well, this is really, really interesting because, as far as I believe, I don't think anybody can make it on fuel from here. I think this is just outside the window.
Yeah, I mean, looking at it, we're 47, 48 laps to go. when we go green. And you said, what, 44 laps of fuel in the tanks?
Yeah, a lot, about that much. About 41 to 43 laps.
Yeah, so we're definitely not going to make it on fuel.
This is interesting. If we go all the way to the end under green here, that could mean a race that ends with a pit stop. Everyone's coming down for pit road, taking tires, taking fuel. Tosima wins the race out. Jasmina, Ajar Ku, Talberson. Jocelyn and Nihale's up to 6th. Yatika. How about Yappy Malikson in 8th? Yanniga and Schliesenbach. Well, let's see if we can figure out what happened there. This was right in front of the leaders. '20 was already off the pace. Oh, it blows up. She just blew up. She parked in an extremely precarious position.
She tries to get it down to the bottom of the track, but the car just stops in the middle, and then there it is.
Just a split second before she despawned there.
Luckily, it was only a 2-car crash, but still a hard hit.
And that was about the worst thing that could have happened for Injetta, because she got trapped a lap down and now she has to take the wave around here to get back in the lead lap. So Tosima still out front after pit stops, but this race has kind of taken a bit of an odd turn. We do not believe they have the fuel to make it to the end. And we believe they'll be about 3 to 5 laps short on fuel coming to the end of this race. I would not be surprised if some cars pitted earlier. I would not be surprised if some cars, if the fuel strategy gets really, really all over the place here, if this goes green to the end.
Yeah, it's going to be close. If we do go green all the way, it's going to be one of those classic fuel mileage finishes where, I mean, literally anybody can win just based off of when they pit. So we'll see how this goes. Posting the leader for now.
Ellie, you know what happened to the 20?
Yeah, it looks like the 20's engine took some pretty fatal damage. Some sort of mech failure that hasn't been fully analyzed, but they had to take her off the track.
Well, probably for none other than just the crash that she was involved in. Davison and Njeta took the wave around. So those two are back on the lead lap, but they're at the very back of the field. Gennaro's finally retired from the race. All right, pace car's off. Green flag is out, and a good restart for Tosima.
Great restart for Tosima.
Ajar Siraj looks to the inside on McJasmine for second. How soon, Liam, would you engage fuel save mode?
Right away, I'm thinking engage fuel save mode now, before the field gets really spread out. You know, save that fuel, get into a groove, and find a position you can stay in until the pit cycle happens, because it's inevitably going to happen no matter what. Save as much as you can, come in for the quickest splash you possibly can late in the race, and then try and scoop up a lead at the end.
Ajar Siraj going for the lead, but can't get the run on Tosima, but she's still there.
If you get too aggressive too early, you're going to burn out your tires, and you're going to have to change them when you come down pit road. Changing tires might be a death sentence when it comes to these late pit stops, if we go green the entire way through.
Ajar Siraj to the lead, but here comes the 6 of McJasmine. Tosima's really been shuffled out of line here. The 6 and the 98 now fighting for the top spot, as Tosima just couldn't hang on the restart, but she looks to the inside. She tried to maybe make a 3-wide dive bomb there. McJasmine is clear for the lead. Here comes Tosima now, trying to fight back. To the inside on the 98. Hectic restart now as Tosima gets to the back bumper of the 6 car. Tosima dives to the inside on McJasmine. Here comes the 98 as well, trying to put herself in the mix. McJasmine the run up top. They're 3 wide back there. They're sliding around McMallickson with a big save there. Ajar Siraj trying to fight here as McJasmine had just scraped the wall.
It was Tosima at the line just narrowly. She loses the lead on the outside. Here comes Talverson.
Here comes the 39. How about the 92 of Yatica is now up here? And Sky and Jetta's already driven her way back up into the top 10. She's already gotten through most of this field here. Ajar Siraj now out front. Clear out front. Tosima trying to get to second. Oh, she hooks the 39. Got into the 39. Teammates. There's been too many close calls here, but Tosima actually manages to get through from that.
It's Tosima in second, Talbert in third. Ajar Siraj still leading. But through all of that contact, the gap has not changed at all.
McJasmine has lost a bit, though. And I think that 6 car is suffering from hitting the wall there. That car just doesn't look the same. Yatica dives down on the 39 here. Does Tosima have anything for this 98 here? I think that's going to be the big question for a good bit. Because Tosima had the lead for quite a while. Azar Siraj has gotten it back. But for how long can Azar Siraj hold that lead? Just under 40 laps to go. I think the other thing that's going to settle this race is going to be that strategy. How do you do that fuel strategy, and what do you pit for? Do you pit for tires? Do you come in earlier for tires, or do you pit later and just take a splash of fuel? There's going to be a lot of drivers that do a lot of different things.
A quick shot at 60 AWSCO. Despite the oil leak and being a lap down, she still managed to get. Hasn't lost a step speed-wise. She just needs to get that lap back.
And she wants to get that lap back the hard way. She pitted with everybody else, and right now she's in position for the free pass if the caution were to come out. I think all of us up here in the booth are kind of hoping that there isn't a caution, though, because I want to see this fuel mileage play out.
I'm in that same boat as well. I do want to see this fuel mileage play out, but someone who doesn't is AWSCO.
Yeah. Well, none of these drivers, I'm pretty sure none of these drivers can make it on fuel. I don't know. Do you think anybody tries?
Even if they do try, I don't think they can. We'll definitely see drivers go as long as they possibly can, but I don't think anyone's making it to the end of this race on fuel, even in third gear. Just sputtering to the line. No one's making it.
Yatica's clear for third. Mix up for fourth. There's a kind of a three-way battle going on for fourth. Wesco is here with Talberson. Or excuse me, Wesco's not for position. But Enjetta's here, and so is Youngwei Koo, fighting for fifth. Are those two.
Two cars, the 98 and the 93, are going to class the field all day. If anyone's going to win it, it should be one of these two. But again, with the fuel strategy and everybody else behind having these strong spurts of speed, there's a chance that anybody could win this race.
Well, here comes the 92.
To the inside.
Yatica looking pretty solid in this one so far. You know, I think it's gonna be you're gonna have to go through one of these two if you're gonna win this race, but you could definitely go through one of them. I don't think
through one of them, you get through both.
I think there's drivers that can do it.
Forces 93 up the track. They're going to be side by side line. The 92
is going to have it. It's going to be Yatica's position.
Obviously, which took third away from her teammate. I believe she will once we get to turn 2 here. Oh.
93 got a bit of momentum back. It's going to depend on if the 39 can clear here, which I don't think she can.
Not clear yet.
I think another car that you got to keep an eye out on, that 16 of Enjetta. She's also very fast.
Turn 3, there she goes to the inside.
3 wide to the inside on Talberson and Tosima. Well, she got by Talberson. Tosuma's still sitting third. Yataka's closing up on Ojar Siraj now. It'll be 30 laps to go pretty soon, and again, how does the fuel mileage play out is going to be that big question.
Down to what the teams decide. Do they split it in half? Do they try and go as long as possible? Do they maybe gamble on splitting it in half and taking 2 tires to have that fresh rubber at the end of the race? There's so many ways you can cut up this strategy call.
Absolutely.
And all of them are going to be in play as soon as that first car hits pit road.
Whoever the first one of this top 8 really to hit pit road is, that's where the strategy's gonna, that's where the strategy's gonna start. It's pretty much any of these top 8 are in play, I think. They're single filed out now, though, and I wonder if maybe that's to save fuel. Bit of fuel saving momentum going on here at the front. Top 5 all single file. Nobody really making that move yet. I don't think there's really a way you can make this work on fuel, like without
I
stopping.
don't think so either. You have to stop. It's just a matter of when and how you stop.
30 laps to go. And Jetta looking to the inside on Tosuma. But that's the other cost, is that, you know, doing this is going to use up more fuel, but they're both going to spin! And into the wall goes in Jetta and Tosuma!
Wow! Huge crash in turn 3. And the strategy's been thrown out.
And the car that dominated all day gets run into and put in the wall. Wow.
You know who that benefits?
AWSCO. She gets the free
Anne-Marie
pass.
Wesco gets the free pass. She'll be on the lead lap, and she was quick on that last restart. The Tosanity run coming to an abrupt end here today.
That was just, I don't know how to describe that one. Tosuma's still running, but she's got some damage. And Jetta's out.
And Jetta, that car came to a dead stop along the safer barrier.
We've been seeing cars make contact like that on the corners all day. It had never resulted to that until then. And obviously you see the result.
dramatic development late in this race.
I just realized the 82, I think, stayed out, and I just waved her around by accident. So, oops. I'll just lap minus her at the caution. At the green, excuse me.
She gets an extra lap for being on the German team.
Yeah. Well, 93 is still going.
It was a hellacious impact into that outside wall.
$16 just sent it too deep. He got hooked into the wall there.
Shows you how hard that hit was. But another reason why those safer barriers are there in the corners.
Well, lights are out on the pace car, so we're gonna go green this time. It says the 82 is the leader, but the 82 is actually at the tail end of the lead lap here. Because I may have made a mistake when waving cars around. Oops. Probably for the better, though, because that 82 was really slow.
Yeah.
So top 10, it's Ajarsaraj, Yatika, Nihale, Talberson, Yanaga, Rariston, Ku,
Yukovic.
No,
No, Yukovic is a lap down.
Yukovic is a lap down. She's actually going to get the wave run, though. Vancy, Davison, Rugatino.
So lap 175 incoming. Green flag. Back in the air.
Green flag's back out. Ajarsaraj is the leader. And now it's an all-out sprint. Here comes Yanaga down the inside for second. Look at the 46 go. They're 4 wide for second spot. Talberson is here as well.
Still Still 4 wide.
Still 4 wide. Here comes the 38 of Youngwei Koo. They're crashing in the back. It's Schliesenbach.
Around.
Caution flag is right back out.
And as quick as we went green, we're right back yellow again.
And the 8 of Schliesenbach. I don't know what happened. Free pass car is actually going to be the 31 of Taylor Happeman. She's going to get one of her 5 laps back. Let's see what happens there. And the 8 just wasn't clear of the 96 there. Not quite clear, and pays the price. Happeman will be the free pass car, so the 31 will get one of her 5 laps back. So this it'll feel like Chris Paul hits a huge 3 to cut the lead to 42 for Happeman, but she will now be 4 laps down.
Well, that was a chaotic restart. We get to do it all again.
Yeah. '93 is going to pull down pit road here. Looks like they're going to do some extra work on the car. That was a very lucky break for Halis Jukovic. She got waved around quite late, and it paid off because she got that caution right away. And she is back on... She has actually gotten back on the lead lap because of it. Ellie, do you know what's happening to the 93? You know why she's down pit road?
Yeah, she's got some kind of fuel system issue. It's really not that niche.
What does that mean?
I'm trying to decode that myself. The 93, no surprise, is a fuel system issue. She backed into the fence pretty hard, so might have knocked something loose there.
Well, not really her fault.
No.
Well, it looks like the 93's gotten back out. So the only car left off the lead lap is still the 31. Lights are out on the pace car, so we're going to go green with 20 laps to go. So Yenfi Yanaga, how about Yanaga, who's gotten up to the second spot?
Got turned around earlier. She was in the wall. Now P2 on this restart.
Yeah, how about Jocelyn Nihale in the 64 car? She's in third.
Where did she come from? Niall's been someone we haven't talked about all day long. Right here she is up in third. The other car that got spun around, 38
And fourth.
in fourth. The only surviving ERR car.
Well, the 93 is still in the race. All right, 20 laps to go. Here we go. Green flag's back out in Lausitzring. And not the best jump from the 98 that time, but not the worst. As they go three wide for fourth. Rareston trying to take this spot. It's looking like the start of the race with Yanaga and Ajarsaraj up at the front. Yanaga trying to get all over the 98 here. AWSCO further back here. What kind of a run will the 46 get on this 98?
19 laps to go. Not a lot of time left. But still lots of time left.
There's still a good bit of time left. Enough to make a difference. As here's the fight for third. Nihale trying to hang on. Rareston's trying to take this away. As here comes Yanaga. Big run for that 46 car. She's trying all she can to get there.
Walking like she was earlier on in the race.
The 32's up here now. She's got the 38 following.
Still
98 really slowed up. 3 wide back here. How about Davison messing around back there? How about Halis Jukovic getting up here?
She goes 3 wide into turn
Remember,
one.
she was a lap down for a while, and now the 62 has gotten up almost to the top 5. She's in 6th. Kind of out of nowhere.
Let's go.
Fighting back here for 9th spot is AWSCO and Vancy. What kind of run will Yanaga get on Ajarsaraj? She's been trying to get underneath for a little bit, but just can't make it stick. She looks to the inside now. She's got a nose. Or side by side down the backstretch. Yanniga with a dive into turn 2. Can she get clear? Not quite. Now there's a fight for third going on back here with Ku and Rariston. Can Yanniga get to the 98? Can she get around? They're 4 wide back here. They were side by side at the line between Yanniga and Ajarsraj. 46 has got the inside in turn 1. She's just gonna clear, I think. Yes, she is.
It's clear. 98 could try and
98 to the back to the inside. Crossover move, but she can't get enough momentum. .46 gets the run. Here comes the 32 of Rariston.
Three wide back there for fourth.
They're all over the place. Ajarsraj is still pressuring Yanniga. But the 46 now out front. Looking for that win to lock her into the playoffs. Slid a little bit in the corner. Ajarsraj is there. 98 to the inside. Yes, she does. They're 3 wide over here. Ajarsraj is clear.
Here comes Rariston for second.
She's not going to have enough, though. Yanniga's going to try the crossover, I think.
Not enough momentum.
She's not close enough yet. Yanniga's all over the 98. Ajarsraj has it back for now, but here comes the 46. Big run off turn 1.
Side by side.
Side by side. They're pretty even heading into turn 2. Can the 46 get clear? Just! The 98 crosses over. Great battle for the lead here in the closing stages at Lausitzring. Here comes Rariston, 3 wide to the inside. Yanniga's clear. Rariston for second. As we are at our Windows 11 to go, and it is anyone's game here in Lausitzring. How about Jukovic up into 4th?
I think she's setting up something into turn 2 here.
And the 62 is there on the 32 as well. Here comes Ajarsraj looking to the inside for the lead. Oh, almost contact.
Moves the 46 up the track. They're going to be side by side still down the front straightaway.
98's got it. 10 to go. Yanniga drops back down. Yanniga, the only driver of this top 4 that hasn't won yet this year. Ajarsraj has 2, Rariston has 2, and Jukovic won all the way back at the Daytona 500 way early in the season.
Nine to go now.
How close can that 46 get? Got a little loose on corner exit, but she's there on the 98 now.
Tries maybe the inside in turn 2.
She really stuck it to the inside. But she just couldn't get enough momentum.
Kirsten tried to generate a run on the outside. Didn't work.
46 with a big head of steam coming out of turn 3. She's to the inside. Down the front straightaway. And she's got the lead back. They continue to trade the lead here in the closing stages of Lausitzring. Is there a car on pit road? Nope, I'm just seeing things. I thought I saw a car on pit road in front of the leaders, and I don't know why.
It's the pace car echo.
No, it was on the front of pit road, on the entry. My eyes are just deceiving me, though. As here comes Ajar Siraj looking to the inside on the 46 again. It's all about the timing of that run. Can Yanniga hang on?
Side by side through turn 3. 46 is going to have to run on the outside.
Big run on the outside. She's going to get a good head of steam, but the 98's going to hold with her.
Watch that 62 car.
Watch the 62 of Yukovic. Take it through, thought about 3 wide. She's going to try to take second, at the very least. And that's what Yanniga wants, is for these cars to battle behind her. That'll let her get away a little bit. Yukovic is clear for second, though.
Hurston, Koo, AWSCO. Everybody's still in this race.
Yeah, they're all up here. They could all win this.
5 laps to go.
If you're this top 10, you can get up here if you have enough momentum. 5 to go. Yukovic is all over Yanniga. Looks to the inside. 46 gets a little bit more momentum, though. Here comes the 98. 98 sends it to the inside on the 62.
Four to go.
4 laps to go now. Yukovic just hanging on to second. Here comes Yatica underneath the 32. Here comes the 60 trying to follow. The 22 is up here. Andrea Davison was quite far back for a good chunk of this race, but she's managed to get back up here into the top 10. She's sitting 9th. She's got McJasmine around her. Three laps remain. Can Yanniga hold on? Do Yukovic, Ajar Siraj, or Rariston have anything for her? Could AWSCO or Yatica maybe make a little surprise here? Well, the 60 looks underneath the 32.
Takes a peek, can't get to the inside, maybe in turn 3.
98 takes the peak in turn 3. 62 is going to try to get that momentum down the front straightaway. 2 laps to go. anybody's game. Jukovic can get there, and she's trying. Just can't get quite to the inside.
Zarsharash not making it easy.
Here comes Jukovic, though, to the inside into turn 3. White flag's gonna come out.
98.46 for momentum on the top.
Yanaga's got the top. White flag. 1 lap to go from Ring. Jukovic trying to hold it. Zarsaraj up on the top side, stuck up there.
Oh, and Youngway Koo's blowing an engine.
Oh, the 38's blowing up on the last lap of the race. Doesn't matter now. The 62 is all over the 46. It's race back no matter what.
She's going to get one more shot into turn 3.
Jukovic is going to have one last shot. Is she going to send it into 3? No, she's not. And it'll be Yenfi Yanaga spins and wins. Yanaga wins at the Ring. And the 22 had a mechanical failure there at the end as well. But she still managed a 10th place finish. The 38 did not make it to the line. What a drive for Yenfi Yanaga to take the victory here.
What a race.
What a race. And for Yanaga, she's the first new winner since Michigan, and she's in the playoffs now. And that's only the second win of the season for Toyota and Southwest Racing, and that is one that she absolutely needed. And that's gonna inject some more momentum into that team for sure. Well, what'd you think of that one, Liam? How do you feel about this race after all's said and done?
It was a great race, start to finish. We had the early chaos that knocked out a lot of the contenders we expected to see front, and then from there it was a battle of attrition. A lot of drivers faced mechanical issues. We saw tires down, engines blowing, sporadic cautions throughout that, and then that last stretch where we had 2 cautions right in quick succession after each other at the end of that race really brought everything together. Great finish all around.
And just a great race all around, especially for Yenfi Yanaga in that 46 car. She takes the victory. We're going to send you down to our post-race studio here with Rashi and Ellie. They will have our full post-race coverage as well as an update on where the points stand after this race. Ellie and Rashi, take it away, you two.
Yeah, what in the world? Where do I start to describe that second half of the race? Proper high drama. Yeah, in a lot of that last third, especially of the race, a lot of big wrecks. We thought we might have had a fuel strategy run to the end, but then you got that massive crash between Tosuma and Njetta, and well, you got a feel for Sky and Jetta. I think every time she manages to get in a contending position, something or another happens to that 16 car. But the Southwest cars definitely look quick all day. We saw the 6 and the 6. We saw the 6, 16, and 46 all fighting it out for the win at different points in the race. And in the end, it was the 46 of Yenfi Yanaga that took home the win for Southwest Racing. So congrats to her. Congrats to her. That's another driver that's been up pretty high in points for most of the season. Well, who's been moving up the points for most of the season now. Got her way inside the above the cut line in the last few weeks and secured the win to make sure she locks in the spot in the playoffs now. But very fun racing here at Lausted String. Lots of aggression and big drama, I think, to cap off this race.
Yeah, that was a very aggressive and kind of high action race. That was really fun to watch. And I think that this is great for Yenfi Yanaga, and it just kind of locks her in. Well, it certainly locks her in now. But I think this was a great race for her, and I think this was a great race to watch in general. It was very fun. I didn't even predict her as up. She wasn't even on my mind. She kind of came out of nowhere to me. I was so focused on the top 3-4 we had back during the mid-race report that I wasn't even thinking about Yenfi Yanaga, and she came out of nowhere and really impressed me. I thought that was great.
Yeah, no, that was a really good performance by the 46, by the driver of the 46. He's been strong in the last 10 races or so, has been really good, and looked really good in this race. I definitely expected a Southwest Racing car to be up there in the end. And then if you look at the rest of the field, good race, of course, for Yarsaraj. Was up front basically the entire race, I think. There's only a few moments in the race where I didn't see her in the top 5. And then you have the 62 of Halis Jukovic with a good performance as well. Stuck around the top 10 most of the way and managed to steal away second from Yarsaraj in the closing laps. I'm not sure what was going on in the end there. We had a few cars blow up at the end for some reason. The 38 blew up in turn 1 in the final lap, which, I mean, I guess if we're gonna blow up at any point during the race, it might as well be on the last lap or right at the line, basically.
I guess so.
But yeah, still a decent performance for the two Gulf Racing cars, though. Both Wesco and Ku with good performances. Yanaga, of course, with that win, locks her place into the points, locks her place into the playoffs, instead of just doing so on points, I should say. And I think with the cut line battle now, I'll double check where we were before. Obviously, Stoneman and probably Garston might drop down a little bit. Although I say that most of the cars below them didn't really have good races either, so you might not see much change on that front, other than maybe with Stoneman losing a bit of ground. But I mean, that'll drop her down to being second above the cut line. I'm not sure if at least second above the cut line. I'm not sure if she's going to be the car on the cut line to speak of. Because obviously Parkings and Harina had pretty short races. Schliesenbach had a longer race at least. Byrne didn't have a very long race. Yatika is going to be a real benefactor of this. Yatika ran in the top 10 today, so that's a really good result for the 92 car. That'll put her up right into the cut line battle, I think.
Yeah, I think this.
And
I think this cut line battle looks pretty interesting right now.
Yeah, here we are now.
Got the graphic.
Stoneman and Vancy are the ones up now, with Garnston 5 back. Parking, Saurina, Schliesenbach, and Yiria are the ones out back. Those two Uberman cars still getting closer despite that. Schliesenbach stayed put, 17 points below the cut line. Yiria closed in to 18 points. Chipping away at that gap still. With a bit of time left to go, it looks like that might work out pretty well for those two. We'll see. We'll see if they're able to steal a win at this end, but steal a win on the run up to the end of the regular season here. But they do look. Those two Uberman cars still look pretty good.
Yeah, being minus 17 isn't too bad. I think Schlichtenbach could easily pull ahead of that within just one race, even half of a race if she performs really good. I think she'll be all right. Same with Yuria.
Yeah, it's really helped that we've had a string of, we haven't really had a string of surprising winners here, so this cutoff battle is getting this cutoff battle has pretty much stayed the way it is. Obviously, if you have two new winners, this completely make the point moot. But right now that we haven't had that happen, really, this is really making that already tight cut line battle even tighter now. We have plenty of cars within 20 points of the playoff spots right now, and I mean, what's to say about it? If you look at the rest of the schedule, now, both on?
Yeah, I think we have about like 6 or 7 cars within the cut line right now. 20 points.
Just about that many cars. If you look at the schedule now, looking at the rest of the Cup Series regular season, obviously we still have one more race in our international tour. We're heading over to Mobility Resort Motegi for a round and return to stock car racing on the Twin Ring Motegi Oval. That'll be an event to look forward to. The unbelievably bumpy the AWSCO Cup Series will take on the unbelievably bumpy surface of the Twin Ring Motegi Oval. Coming up next, after that, you have the Cup Series heading over to Echo Energy International, which is a short track in Surrey, British Columbia. After that, we do have another big flatter oval with Indianapolis. Then a few short tracks with Iowa and Richmond, Darlington and Pensacola round out the season. Those last 4 races, I think, will be all doubleheaders at the same track with the Continental Series. So the 2 series converging on the same tracks for the end of the regular season there. A lot of short tracks coming up in both series. We haven't really seen short tracks in the Cup Series in a while now. I think since South Boston, really. So yeah, it's been a while since we've done something like that, and we have 3 of them coming up in short order. So that'll definitely be something to talk about in the run up to the end of the regular season.
Yeah, for sure, and I think it'll be interesting to watch some of our more like versatile drivers also perform on those short tracks as well. I think that'll be. I think that's a really interesting set list. I'm excited to see those tracks.
Yeah, we still have another big oval coming up. We have a few irregularly shaped speedways in Motegi and Darlington, and then of course to cap off the regular season will be that plate race at Pensacola. It'll be an even bigger version of the AWSCO All-Star race at Concord earlier. So that's gonna be something. That's gonna be a real spectacle to end the regular season for both series. But yeah, with the way things are, if we don't get any new winners, this is turning up to be a real exciting points battle for the playoffs here. Looking at and then if you look on the other side of the field, looking at the drivers with the most wins right now, obviously you have Delot and Tosima who've been very good. Tosima ran really well regardless of the result today. So that car is still definitely up there in the class of the field. Talberson ran pretty well today as well. Raritan pulling a good finish. Yarsaraj, obviously, with those 2 wins, had a good result. Ran in the top 5 all day. We are definitely starting to see, I think, the sharp end of the field develop here in the Cup Series.
Yeah, we're getting towards that point, and the points battle is getting tighter and tighter. It seems only like the top 2 are really secure.
Yeah, I think only the top 2 are really that secure. Malcolmson held on to the points lead there despite getting involved in the first incident on the first lap. So
yeah, I mean I have to hand it to her though. She was hoodless like the majority of
the
the
race. Took off the hood early on. Yeah, after that crash, they took off the hood to fix that damage, and she managed to keep that on track and somehow drag it into 12th.
Yeah, if she had a hood on, she probably would have performed a little better.
Yeah, obviously. Nihale finishing top 10 as usual as well. So And another top 10 for the 64 team there. Those two cars are definitely surprised that we haven't seen a win come their way yet. But given that we've been notching down drivers that have run well without wins in the last few races. We saw Carl Reynolds win at Continental. We saw Yannick win here today. We might definitely be closing in on that time for those two drivers at the top of the standings to be getting their wins.
Yeah, I think we're getting close to that point. I would not be surprised if Malixon or Nihil gets a win very soon. I think we're getting to that point where, it has been really surprising, but they always run really great, and they can kind of chalk it up to the opportunity just wasn't there for them to win. Something crazy happened. I mean, you know how it gets in the Cup Series. I think we're finally going to get to that point. I would not be surprised if either of them win very soon.
Yeah. I mean, they're regularly running up at the front of the field, and at some point I think it is going to just at least fall into the lap at some point. A win will definitely just kind of happen to them at some point in the season. And with that, I think a good time to finally wrap up this broadcast. It's been an exciting. It was a real thrilling race here at the Lausitz Ring, and with that, we'll bid our farewells here from the studio in Germany. I've been Rasha. Thank you for joining us here in the FanDuel fan studio. We'll take it back to Echo now, where she'll wrap up the broadcast for everyone. And thank you.
Yeah, and a very fun race here from the Lausitz Ring. A very high action race. Did not disappoint after last week's show in Rio. We had another great race internationally. All right, next week, the Continental Series heads off to the Chicagoland Speedway in Chicago, Illinois. That's going to be real fun over there. And the Cup Series to the Mobility Resort Motegi in Motegi, Japan. It's a very fun couple tracks that we're going to next week, and I think that you all will enjoy them. All right, on behalf of Liam, Ellie, and Rasha, thank you so much for joining me today for the race here in Lausitz Ring. I'm Echo. Thank you so much.